There you
go.
So true.
Where art thou, Abby? There we are.
Hello.
Mod, view, and boom.
Small dead guy, hello. Already live in chat, what the heck? My goodness.
Damn it, I want it to be first.
Yo. Adam Keys. Oh my goodness, people turning up already. I haven't even sent out the pings yet. My goodness. Q&A as well.
I will say, I don't know how long you're going to be going for, but about 3 my time, I have to go for like an hour.
Sure.
And then I'll be back.
I have no idea how long I'm going to be for, but we'll just keep going till we're going. Right, give me 2 seconds, guys. I'm literally just sending out the pings what I remember.
While we all wait, can we all get a round of applause for Abby hitting affiliate?
That's true. I just hit affiliate somehow today. Hi Z, welcome. Although it's weird, I think the dashboard must be out of date because I thought I was going to hit it after the stream, but oh, I just got a random email middle of the day. So that's pretty cool.
We don't question it, we just accept it.
Should I place it in Rogue? I'll post it in the Rogue videos and streams thing so I don't just at everyone. I feel rude just putting it in the announcement channel.
Nah, do it.
I mean, I can, but like... I could. To be fair, I'll do it because some people actually might want to see it and they won't...
Actually...
Yeah, they won't see it otherwise. Okie doke. Yeah, welcome everyone. I can go. I'm wearing a Pokemon dress today. I was that prepared.
Oh!
I've got the Butterfree dress. Got some pink Butterfrees on and everything.
Oh, I like the new background.
It's just like a throw. I can't remember the word, but it's just because you could see Kate in the background while she was doing whatever she's doing. So this felt like better to put something up so you can block a bit more of the light. Woo! Glad I was about to make it in time and beat 2.0 just before this game. Damn, impressive! Perfect timing. Hi, madam. Hello, monster. Monster. Can't speak. Okay, I'm getting flashbanged. Amazing. So, I don't really have a lot of plans today in terms of what's going to go on. I think a lot of it is just going to be me kind of rambling. So if anyone has any questions or anything that they want to know about Emerald Rogue-wise, just let me know. I got Dolphin in chat, by the way. That's the other person in chat with me. They're gonna hopefully keep on top of the chat if I'm missing anything.
I find it cool that I was there for the Emerald Rogue 2.0 opening, and now I'm here for the Emerald Rogue. You're
closing?
Not working on it anymore.
Yeah, no, it's closing from my part. Yeah.
Yeah, closing from your part.
Exactly. Yeah, let's get launching. Place that, I can actually jump to my full screen. Might actually move chat. I can do it like this.
Hey girl, hey.
Go hey. There you go. I can have chat right next to the game, make it a bit easier for me to see. Also, everyone, let me know if the audio is dodgy or not, or if the audio level's good. Is the better way of phrasing that. Thank you for the follow. I think I've decided, by the way, because I like having follow alerts, but I also dislike pulling people out of the lurk. So I think what I'm going to do is whenever people follow, I'm going to say thank you for the follow, but not say your name. So if you are lurking, You're not just like pull that or lurk. I feel like that's the nice in between. Subscriber Prime. Oh my goodness, thank you. The very first channel subscriber, small dead guy.
Shout outs, shout outs.
Big shout outs. Thank you for the follow. I get to use it everyone. Well, thank you regardless. I'm very much the same with my Prime sub. I assume the audio level's fine because no one's mentioned anything about it, so we're ready to go. So this is a debug build of Emerald Rogue. This is the debug build from 2.0.1a. Audio working fine. Amazing, thank you. And it mostly just the exact same, except I've got a couple tools to play around with. I will, I guess, be playing this partially seriously, partially not. I'm not too worried about having like legit runs. I would rather show people how I made everything and what, you know, what's going on or how stuff works.
So we can all agree that if you lose a run, we can make fun of you.
Oh, 100%. I will probably lose a run without my debug tools anyway.
Let's go.
Let's go. I was trying to say thank you for the amazing work you do. Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate that. Might have been on the debug build before. You have, Tobias. I know that for a fact. Time for a deathless run. I mean, I can do a deathless run if you guys want to do a deathless run. There's a lot of tools in the debug build to allow me to do that. I'm not a Twitch guy, but wanted to check in and say thank you for Emerald Rogue. Absolute buzzing game. Well, thank you very much. I get the feeling this is what a lot of this stream's going to be.
Yeah.
Anything in particular that I should change?
Thank you for doing this.
I'll put the nicknames on automatic. And I'll just go. It's almost like the game's really hard. I guess I can talk about that because I know that Emerald Rogue 2.0 was a bit controversial when it first launched to do with the difficulty. Actually, hang on, I can rewind. One of the useful things, if you're debugging, by the way, is MGBA has a lovely feature to be able to rewind. You can enable that. And I have it hooked up on my controller so I can just hold this left trigger and then it will go backwards. The music probably sounds ridiculous. It also works as speed up too, so you can speed up your rewind. It's very, very useful. Just as a side tangent. Yeah, so an interesting thing with the difficulty was when 2.0 released, everyone, I think, generally agrees that 2.0 was a lot harder than 1.0. And that was very much intentional because 1.0, I think, was too easy for a roguelike. 1.0 was fun in that you could kind of go in and you could still do a lot of runs. You had a lot of content. A hell of a lot harder, exactly. But you rarely ever lost... Oh, thank you for the raid, Nacho. Welcome. You rarely ever lost runs in 1.0. It was kind of the exception. Choo-choo. Also, limited happiness and thanks. Emerald Rogue is the Pokemon game I've always wanted, but didn't know it until I played it. Genuine thank you. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, so I adjusted the difficulty intentionally so to make it so runs were harder to get wins in. But I also made sure to have lots of meta progression spread throughout to give you more options, more tools to make those runs easier. So if you're doing like easier challenges, they're easier now as a result of you having more hub tools. Whether that's improved daycare or even like late game, I consider the unique mons, hunting for good unique mons, definitely carries you if you can get some good combinations. 2.0 runs as long as I'm here thinking. Okay, you go food. Well, have good food, Nacho. Thank you for making my rummy session. Well, thank you. Hydrate Beach. Okay, calm down. I got some milkshake. So debug tools.
What flavor?
It is strawberry milkshake.
Ew.
I have. Oh, okay. What's wrong with strawberry? The heck?
I
Hype
don't like
train.
the flavor of
I
strawberry.
don't even know what a hype train is, guys. I really don't know what hype train is.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what it is either.
Okay. Thank you, Pete.
That's good.
Welcome, Pete, by the way. Nacho Road cancelled their request to join. I don't even know what that means. But thank you, Nacho. 1.0, 1.3 was definitely a lot less of a hard game. I already found myself wiping in the mid game and then in the end game. If I droughted? Oh, droughted on good enough encounters during the evil, right? Yes. I agree, which is again why I changed it. I also thought people could. It was too much of a coin flip when it hit badge 4 in 1.0 and 1.3. When you hit badge 4, it was kind of like you might die, you might win, or well, if you win, you probably go to the end game, but chances are you might end up just dying here. But so I wanted to spread that out a bit more, make it less like there's a hard wall and more like you're more likely to just wipe anywhere in the run. But anyhow, debug tools. So I have a lot of different debug tools that live in a lot of different places. Basically, there were different debug menus that did or didn't exist when I was making the game. So this is the second one I made. Maybe I should skip over this for the moment. I'll come back in a second. The first one I made was a little room. Modern or classic? Let's just go modern. I don't think it matters. I'll show you the room, the debug room first. My crazy room. So, like I made in the post for Emerald Rogue 2.0 when it first launched, I specifically wanted Emerald Rogue to be a celebration of Pokemon as a whole, like the Pokemon franchise as a whole, which is part of the reason why I wanted to kind of move away from the Emerald characters. Why these pokes in the cutscene? Just because I thought it was cute, and it was easier for me to make a cutscene. So that's technically a map. You're technically, during this entire sequence, you're loaded into a map. Like just a regular overworld map. And then I just, you know, just have them as spawning and just wander around. I just wanted to show off. Oh, thank you for the follow. Character selection. This is another thing as well I wanted to improve on. So everyone loved the character selection in Emerald Rogue 1. So I just wanted to improve it and make it better. That's generally what I did for every other aspect. I was like, if people liked it, I'm going to try and make it better. If people didn't like it, it's going to go. Or it's going to get reworked. So I feel like I did a pretty good job here. So I have a big selection of characters. And with pretty much all of them, you can change whatever colors you want. I know a lot of people immediately saw this and then like turned their characters into like Smurfs and stuff like that.
I did that.
You did that, I remember.
Turned my character light blue.
Immediately. Yeah, it's actually surprisingly simple how it works. Character creation 2 is great. I need to use it more, but I love my Aqua Grunt too much. Full outfit customization is amazing. I love my red and teal outfit. This is something I can probably show you how it works, I suppose. This is part of the reason I want to do the stream. I want to explain how this works. If we have any aspiring ROM hackers in the chat, they can steal the concepts and implement it in their own stuff, maybe, if I can remember what the heck I'm doing. This is I'm on a new PC to the one I originally sort of worked on Emerald Rogue, so everything's not in the places where I'm used to it being. Give me 2 ticks. That is the wrong location, that's why. I need to open. Without trying to dox myself, please. That'd be preferable.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I don't have too much on my thing anyway, so it should be fine. I don't think I'm going to accidentally dox myself, but it'd be ideal if I could avoid doing it. God, I need to remind myself, where the hell are all of the players? There they are. No, they're not. I've been lied to. They're not object events. People? Rogue people? Nope.
You got this. I believe in you.
I know. It tells you how long it's been since I've last looked at. Let's look at Dawn. I've looked at Emerald Rogue.
You know, I think it's in a folder.
I thank you. That was super helpful. I mean, you're not
no
wrong.
Problem.
You're 100% correct.
That's what I'm here
there.
for. I mean,
you're 100% correct. It is indeed in a folder. Oh, Jesus Christ. Then I need to go to you, and then I go to. Give me 1 second, chat. I am not looking at the moment because I'm trying to. I'm very prepared. Evidently,
this is what I'm actually here for.
Yes, if you. Graphics.
I turned my character pitch black so I can match my man's dark deal man. That's certainly a healthy relationship there. I won the game Nuzlocke with Palmont, Tyranitar, Alolan Muck, Runarigus, Magearna, and Brambleghast, which was a shiny, by the way. His embargo curses just mean he loves me.
That's true, that's true. Alright.
Oh my gosh.
I changed my bindings as well, so I'm gonna have to remember what the hell I need to do. Nope, that's... Okay. Oh, I
Oh,
see. I didn't
no.
set up a binding for my main screen display. There you go, that's why. So, this is like one of the characters, right? This is how Dawn looks. But this is a separate palette. So, the way Game Boy works is each sprite can only take up one palette. There's limited palette slots, and a lot of the time you have to share them between multiple sprites. So if you see in the top right, these are all the colors that exist in this palette. The player is unique in that the player is important enough to have its own unique palette slot. It doesn't share any of them, so a lot of the overworld sprites will share palettes with everyone, with other sprites, because there's just not enough memory on a Game Boy to go around. So the way that I sort of had this working is that I have this second view. So if you notice, the palette changes here to all these primary colors. All of these colors mean they indicate like a specific layer in quotation marks that it's on, and this is the layer that you affect it with in game. So the blue layer is like the secondary tint, I think, and the green, or no, is the blue the primary? I can't remember which way around it is, but each color is just a unique layer, and it matches up 1-to-1 with the exact color in the top right. That's how it works. I just go through when I'm loading the palette, when I detect that this palette attempts to get loaded, and I go through and go, oh, hang on a second, let's modify the color a bit, because this is on, like, you know, the red is the skin tint layer, so any color from this palette that's part of the skin, I'm going to alter. And I do that for all of the sprites that I have to tint. Hopefully that made sense. I hope. Interesting. Agrees. Yeah, so this is the primary... Oh, sorry, I got them the wrong way around. But you can see how it matches up in the top. And do the exact same thing for the Smurf Dawn. Should we stick with Smurf Dawn? The exact same thing for the trainer sprite, the trainer front sprite in the main part of the screen. That's a good... We go white and blue. There you go. That's very Smurfy.
Shout out Smurf Dawn.
Smurf Dawn. Smurf. There you go.
Smurf.
And you gotta go. And this is another thing of why I made you name the village, is because I thought in 1.0 the hub was kind of an afterthought. Like, it was cool, but it didn't have a lot of depth to it, which is why I made the hub. I reworked it, and I was like, well, I've got to let people name it in order to, you know, gain some attachment to it. So everyone's hub is their own story that changes over time, and your hub is not going to be the same as anyone else's, and that's fine. That's pretty cool. Just name it Smurf Town. There's a lot of... I thought a lot on pretty much every aspect of of the game. Yeah, this is the hub, so if you don't all know, you get a Wobbuffet plush for it. I mean, I have a Wobbuffet plush, I just don't have it with me. And the funny thing was, before I started the stream, I was thinking I could get a Wobbuffet plush. But I just get it off the shelf. I was like, nah, I don't want to do it. I should have just done it. That's the wrong way. The 1.0 hub felt kind of like a menu you could run around. 2.0 feels like a real place. Exactly, yeah. That was kind of my goal with it. I like the fact that you had to run around. It's also part of the reason why I don't let you change the layout, because you and how you place stuff, especially how you place stuff like badly, it's kind of storytelling. It's your own storytelling. That was such a nice upgrade. The amount of thought put into it was actually amazing. What was there in spirit exactly? This is the debug door that I was on about. So this is the debug door. That is where I go to test all of my stuff. This is the first easy way I had to like easily do debug stuff. Because I didn't have a debug menu originally, and then I got a debug menu, and then I upgraded to a new version of Emerald Expansion that came with a better debug menu, so that's why I have 3 of them. That feels like a central area in Dark Souls 3, very homey. Place everything badly because I didn't understand what the menu of the first area. Yeah, most people will, and I like that though, because stuff getting placed badly is, again, it's storytelling, it's memories, right? You go look back at it and you're like, God damn, I wish this wasn't here, that's so silly. But I did place it here. Give it a follow. I don't know if there's anything particularly interesting going on here. There's just NPCs that I can talk to do specific things. So, like, this guy lets me trigger a battle. I think it will crash, actually, if I go to it. So, actually, just triggers a battle with who's ever in the PC, which is no one. Oh, nice. He sent himself out. Yep, so there you go. Told you. Just a bunch of... Who's a scrimbo trapped in the amber? This guy, you mean? So he is a sprite that's in all of the Generation 3 games. Like all of the base Generation 3 games. I forget his name. But he's just a sprite that Game Freak used for testing. I don't think there's anything else. I can do like Voltorb Flip. I think this lets me like reroll my PC. This is just different area to do it. Hi Victory. And I had like some sprite tests because I was commissioning. So I found a lot of the overworld sprites. Like a lot of people have made Gen 3 style overworld sprites for the trainers. But I sort of ran out after around Gen 5 and onwards. It was very, there was a few of them. So I had to commission all of the rest of them. So yeah, I got Larry here. He was one of the last sprites to come to the game, I guess. I don't actually remember. And I have a bunch of them just spread around. So like this is Rika, which I love these sprites. Everyone did a really good job on them. I thought there was people down here, but I guess I deleted them. Sideways stairs, everyone's favorite sideways stairs. Huge.
Huge! Insane!
Some test sprites for picking up the mega stones and whatnot. Yeah, this is my first little area. Yeah, each NPC just does something very specifically. So I can change my outfit at this sign. Elm, I used... Oh, okay, yeah, he gives me a quest book just to break progression. I forget about that. I can use him to, like, fill the PC. I can also show people whilst I'm here a cool little secret. Amazing. So, there are several secret outfits in this game. If people didn't know. You can get these secret outfits by having a specific Pokemon in the start of your party and renaming yourself to something. So, for example, my outfit, if you name yourself Abby and have a Mareep in the front of your party, it's a secret. Ta-da! It's me. Well, the character I chose for my sprite. What does the professor do at the bottom? I can't remember. I think it was just for debugging some Pokedex stuff, I guess. I really don't remember what I was using him for. Anyway, we'll go back to Smurf. A Smurf Dawn. Is that secret only? No. This is not. This is not in the debug menu. Not the debug only feature. That's in everything. Yeah, you can do that in your copy. Finds a cottony hat I never found. So there is a secret outfit specifically for Later Manor and the generic dolphin. You have to have their iconic Pokemon in the front of your party and change your name to their name. That's why Connor looks... There's a good clip of actually Connor reacting to that. Anyhow, let's progress a little bit more because I haven't even started playing really, have I? And this whole sequence, I wanted to show off the way in which this has changed, and being able to catch Pokemon in the overworld I thought was pretty cool. I thought this was a nice way to also show people the Safari, because when I was doing early tests, people didn't know the Safari existed or what it meant. But because you come here... Oh, there you go. There's a cottony. Speak of the devil. Because you come here early on...
Well.
I remember Nacho's secret. There you go. Because you come here early on, it kind of solved that problem. Now people know that this area exists, and after their first run, they tend to come back and they're like, oh my god, the Pokemon I caught from my previous run there. Which is also something I wanted to do in 1.0, but I couldn't figure out a good way to do it because I was too new to ROM hacking at the time. Well, this cottony wants to be caught by me. It's chilling out next to me. I do technically have a Mareep in my party now I think about it. Was this your first ROM hack? Technically, no. I have worked on ROM hacks in the past, but all the ROM hacks I worked on in the past were when I was like super young, and I don't have any of them. It was when I was like a kid, barely knew how to program, so I don't really count those. This is my first like. It was the first ROM hack I had done after like taking a break for like over a decade. So, and I'll be honest, I didn't expect it to blow up at all. Yeah, I have a Mareep because I accidentally gave myself a Mareep.
I guess a good question would also be like, where did you get the idea to do Emerald Rogue?
It's really not that exciting, I'm afraid. It basically boiled down to I was like super bored. I struggle with like playing games a lot, which is part of the reason I started streaming because I'm trying to use it as a medium to like play games. And I was basically like, oh, I really want to play Pokemon, but I don't want to have to go through all the craft. And I remember I was sat there talking to Kate and I was sort of ranting about like, oh, wouldn't it be amazing if you could play Pokemon, but you could just focus on like the battles and the team building? It just sort of did it fast. And then I was like just spewing ideas as I normally do. So a lot of the time we'll do like brain dumps, which we're thinking of like game ideas. So we'll just like dump ideas for games or features that could exist, because 99% of the ideas that you come up with aren't actually good. You just think they're good, and then when you actually go to make it, it's like, this is one of those ideas that the more I kept saying it, I'm like, oh my god, that could be great. And I suddenly realized that I was making a roguelike. I was like, yeah, this could work amazingly as a roguelike, like with randomized trainers that you fight and routes and so on. And then eventually, partway through that conversation, Kate was like, why don't you just make it? And I was like, what? It's like, yeah, you can just make it. I'm like, oh my god, I can, can't I? Like, I know how to program. I can just make it. So then, yeah, that's how Rogue started. Was a roguelike that inspired you to make it? No, funnily enough, there wasn't. There really wasn't. I haven't played an awful lot of roguelikes, funnily. I played like Risk of Rain, and like Vampire Survivors, but I don't think Vampire Survivors counts. I got another quest book, let's go. And the quest board. Again, this is part of the thing of like, I just wanted to polish up what we had in 1.0, because 1.0 already had quests. It's just, they didn't look this good. I think this is I was really proud of the presentation for the quests. Also, I don't know if people realise, the quest book is the Pokedex from Legends Arceus. The icon is like a down-res version, and this pattern is all inspired by the Pokedex from Legends Arceus. Ooh, don't
I did not know that.
Yeah. Again, this is just me trying to fill as many references into the franchise as I possibly can, which is exactly why like Ball Guy is here, why Scott comes back. Because originally, funnily, I was planning on the NPC that was in the challenge area. Instead of Scott, I was going to have it be Cal, Hoodlum Cal. Because I knew he was a big like Emerald Rogue fan, so I was like, I put him there, that would be really cool. But the more I like sat with the idea, I was like, oh no, it's gonna like, I need to have something from the franchise, right? Because unless you know PokeTubers, unfortunately, it doesn't really work. Hi Shikori. Yeah, let's get into a run. Oh, I haven't showed you the other debug menus actually. The other debug menus are a lot fuller. So this is the most up-to-date one. Actually, no, I'll go to the old one first. If I go to the config lab, this one is the next debug menu I made. And again, very simple. It does everything I need to do. I can hide followers. There was some stuff to testing with Rogue Assistant. I can force it to spawn me on specific routes. I know you're stepping away, but are you releasing the secret Orguzma version before you put it down? Thanks, Pete. No, I'm not. I'm not.
What the hell, man? But we
I know.
need it.
I know Pete IRL, by the way, if you're curious. It's so rude. Yeah, I don't think there's anything interesting. I guess the only interesting option here that turned into a gameplay feature was the Steel Teams. Because I didn't have a good way to inspect enemy teams, because obviously everything's randomly generated, so I just had this debug option that just let me, like, every time I enter the battle, their team becomes my team, or my team becomes their team, sorry, just so I can have a look to see what they look like. Snag Curse. Yeah, that's where Snag Curse came from, because obviously I wanted to reference Colosseum. I already had a Colosseum reference, but I was like, I could turn it into a curse. I actually didn't come from traditional Roblox because I found out from that side. I don't know Casper luck. When you're releasing the secret seed that turns all trainers into female grunt, true. I could do that, couldn't I? The other debug menu, which is like the more modern one, is the one that you get in Emerald expansions. If you make any project based on Emerald expansion, this menu is available to you. For those who don't know what Emerald Expansion is a project that's run by the community that adds all of the future behavior to Emerald. So you get all of the new Pokemon, all the new items, and so on. I didn't really touch any of that stuff, bar like some tweaking here and there. All of the implementation was done by a massive group of people that all work for free just to provide everything. So massive thank you to everyone from RH Hideout. Just figured I'd pop in and say hi. Hi! Yeah, I don't think there's anything too exciting in here. I can play music. Actually, that reminds me, one thing I do want to do with the music. I wanted to have Gen 5 music in the game. I tried really hard to try and get Gen 5 music into the game. I'm not very good at doing anything audio programming. It's like my weakest area in programming. I know barely anything about music theory, so I spoke with a couple people and I was trying to get something commissioned, but unfortunately the cost of it was just so damn high that I couldn't. But this track is the best I could get in for Gen 5, and it sounds awful, so prepare your ears for how awful this is gonna sound. This is the Iris, the versus Iris music from Black and White 2. Yeah, I'm stopping it there. Remember some lives on this Lamau. Except for Evie, welcome. Wait, have you been here the entire time? I don't think so. I never to say thank you for making such a fun ROM hack, by the way. Glad I started a Shiny Live Index. Yes, that's also another thing, because I didn't expect any Shiny community to pop up around Emerald Road 1.0. I was so amazed that people wanted a Shiny hunt. So I was like, I definitely need to try and make Shiny hunting more engaging. And I was like, the chaining system, I love how it turned out in the end. I love the way that it worked. And I'm glad everyone else seems to as well. Fantastic work on that lovely soundtrack. Yeah, exactly. That's why Gen 5 music isn't in. Let's just go. Oh, the music was there for a split second. Obviously, overworld encounters were a big part of this too. Very proud of this feature. Honestly, tempted to try and bring this back in any other future ROM hack that if I eventually ever do anything. Yeah, it works pretty seamlessly in my opinion. It just spawns in a lovely object event for any Pokemon. I did have to be a bit cheeky. So like, there's a few palette slots on the GBA that's specifically reserved for these overworld Pokemon. And I have to be careful with how many are on screen. It's 15-6, let's go! Slygon HG in the chat. No, it's not. I'm so back 1.2, 1.3, and 2.0. Let's be real. The quest for a great addition, also a good link for the base upgrading. Yeah. The quest helped tie the game together. And also another thing with the 2.0 specifically in the quest is I specifically wanted to make sure that you didn't have to 100% the game in order to complete the game. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to properly cheat. Because I want to just try and get through this so I can talk about stuff. So I'm going to force all of the trainers to have level 5 Pokemon.
Wow.
But this is how I like do like quick debug tests on the game, is I can just, you know, force all the trainers to only be level 5. Oh yeah, this fucking wizardry, the speed up In battle speed up. I don't know, I just had like a little brainwave one day after I was working on the credit sequence. And I was like, hang on a second, all the credit sequence does is it just runs all the animation code twice? What happens if I did that in battle? And I was like, oh my god, it actually works. And I did it like 4 times. And I was like, I can go to like 4 or 5 times speed up and it just works. There are some visual oddities here and there, right? But generally speaking, it's amazing, right? And it's something so simple. So simple that I really hope a lot of other ROM hacks take it and try to use it in their projects too. The in-battle speed up is arguably the best thing you can put in a ROM. Honestly, because I play most of the time when I was testing, like outside of actively development, when I was actively doing my own debug tests, I like to do it on handhold. Wow, Cottony. Please, can you do some damage? Or do actual speed up, there you go. It looks seamless unless you're trying to look for oddities. Yeah, if you're doing something like, I know exactly what the issue is, I just never found a good fix for it, but it generally is fine. It doesn't like crash or do anything, which is what I prioritize with the speed up. Oh, okay. On actual GBA, doing 4 times speed up is a bit, really? I found it not an issue at all when I did it on actual GBA. That's interesting.
So, what would you say, if you can remember, was the very first thing you worked on and the very last thing you worked on in the game for like coding wise or whatever?
I remember the very last thing I worked on because it came up in in Connor's stream.
Oh really?
It was a bug. Because there are a few bugs that I fixed, but unfortunately never managed to get I never felt like I got enough fixes in to warrant releasing another version. So I held out,
Yeah.
and then unfortunately I obviously had to step away. The very last change I'm pretty sure I submitted was a fix for the Shedinja evolution.
Oh really? What used to happen?
It just didn't work in 2.0. A lot of the evolution code got like tweaked and messed around with, partially my fault, but yeah. Also this pop-up system as well for picking up items. Another thing I noticed was a big point of the slowdown in Emerald Rogue 1.0 was people picking up items or being in like the battle prep rest drop, and a lot of it was just because there were so many text boxes to go through, so I decided to try and get rid of as much as I could. And I was like, well, the quest notification system I had in like 1.3, I think I introduced it, was really nice. It's really cool. So I was like, let's take that and improve it, and I feel like it works pretty good. Works pretty well. The toast thing, exactly, right? You can loot routes so much faster this time. Knows the ice puzzle by mind 1 point over. There's, oh my god, okay, Cottony. You have 10 level advantage, come on now. Thank you for follow. Only way to get Shedinja outside of runs in 2.0 is the hard tap. Yeah, it's the same with Hisui and Voltorb. Thank you for the follow. Hisui and Voltorb is locked to a quest. It's annoying because I thought I fixed it in the first hotfix for 2.0, but I did not. I mean, I can just cheat here because there's an item there. You know what's also funny is I specifically went out of my way to make this puzzle a little bit nicer. I put this tile here to try and indicate to people that this is the way you do it. A lot of people still don't know that.
Yeah, I'm one of those people.
Well, there you go. Now you know. And rivals. Rivals was a huge thing. That's like one of the biggest run killers now, to be honest. If a rival doesn't directly kill you, a rival will kill you or like result in you dying to your next fight. So, funnily enough, the way rivals spawn... Oh, I needed to swap. Rivals used to always spawn the very last route they possibly could before a badge.
Mm-hmm.
And basically what always happened was people would be playtesting the game, right? And they would get to the rival, they'd be like at Gym 4, right? Just about to do Gym 4, and they'd be exiting a route, hit a rival. Oh no, it wouldn't be even exiting a route. It would be you would be in a rest stop. You would hit a rival. The rival would wipe half your team, and then you'd have to go into the gym with only like 3 Pokemon. So I changed where rivals spawn to make it spawn earlier. The only time it spawns late is the very first time he appears. I think before badge 1, if I recall correctly. What I do before rivals just to get smoked anyway. Rivals fit so well, and again, it's like I love the celebration of the franchise having rivals from all generations was super fun. I love that a lot. Another big thing I did, and another thing I'm super proud of, is the Battle Prep rest stop. I was super concerned with how much time people spent building their Pokemon, which is why I kind of condensed it down massively. So now there's only 1 tutor instead of the original 3, and all of them, you know, you can see all your moves in one menu, and you can scroll for your Pokemon. You can even go as far as you see Body Slam. It's pretty fast at putting you back to the menu, because there's like in base game there's like 3 or 4 different text boxes. And also having the moves cost different numbers. It was so nice. I love the 1 tutor version. Yeah, I tried to kind of flood the game with as much quality of life, and also that obviously extends to the in-game, the in-party menu as well. Because another thing, they would go to the EXP trainer in 1.0, and they'd be leveling something up and constantly having to be like, I don't want to learn this, I don't want to learn that, I don't want to learn this, don't want to learn that, It makes so much more sense if you just sit down at a moment. So I think generally the pattern I do myself, and I've noticed a lot of people generally have a similar pattern but maybe not the same location, is they'll get to a rest stop, and then that's like, okay, cool, what can I learn now? You won't need to go into a menu every single time. And it, you know, speeds up the run, because a lot of the time you just don't need those moves and you don't need to know about them, so you just do it once and you're like, cool, am I happy with my moveset? I don't want to change it. I do that, exactly. Love the quality of life design across the board. Just respect your time more, 100%. Even as down to the shops are always in alphabetical order. Not all of them, sorry. Some of them are sorted by the type of item, because that was clearer. But like the held item shop, always alphabetical, because people would scroll, because this by the end of the run gets massive. This shop gets so big, so yeah, you can just easily find an item or hunt for an item. You can also use L and R to quickly jump. I know a lot of people didn't, because I couldn't, or didn't know that you could do that, because I don't have a good way to indicate that you can do that, because there's not a lot of screen real estate on a DVO. I think this one... Oh, this one is... Okay, yeah, this one isn't alphabetical entirely. This one links item, or tries to store similar items together. So the evolution stones are at the top, and then ability stuff, and... Yeah. Vending machine is such a well-kept secret. The vending machine was funny, because I always wanted to add something there. And then again, I was chilling in Later Man's stream whilst he was playing, and he was moaning about how it didn't do anything. And I'm like, you know what, fine, I'm going to go and make it do something. And I was like, make it gambling.
Make it gambling.
Yeah, make it gambling. Yep, run killer. Yesterday I lost 2 runs because a rival got mons that one-shot my item evolved mons. Yeah. Let's go gambling. Ah, dang it. Honestly, there was somebody made a gif of that character, the Let's Go Gambling guy, but it was the random man from 1.0, and I lost my mind when I saw that gif. I think I saved it on my PC because I just loved it so much. Not gif, sorry, I was doing a video because I had audio. I'm stupid. So the gym leaders.
First gym.
Oh. Well, again, they're all level 5, so this is just
Yeah,
I'm just clicking and just moving.
One of the mods set up a prediction.
Did you?
No, kidding.
That was so funny. I can show you some of the trainer data, I suppose. That might be a cool behind the scene thing. I will say the trainers was one of the most tedious parts. So actually getting the trainers in game, the raw data, setting up their team generators, because as people probably know by now, there's no static teams in Emerald Rogue ever. I think, well, actually technically I guess the Chansey trainer is technically a static team. But generally speaking, no, there is no static teams. Oh my god, this why does it look like this? Windows 11, what are you doing to me? Okay, there we go. Back to normal. Jesus, what's that about? Speaking of Gambling Man, game shows, chances of each game equal, or is there a bias? There is a bias. Vault or Flip was significantly harder for people to win on, so that appears much less often. Hang on, I will try and find the thing I'm looking for. There we go. So, this is what the trainer data looks like. This terrifying stuff. So I know I said I wasn't going through code. I'll zoom in, make it a bit easier. I'll move it over actually a little bit because my webcam is blocking the view. This is sort of what the trainer data looks like. I store everything in these sort of JSON files, and I have just big lists of stuff, and I have to go out and write all of the text for all the trainers. So funnily, that was one of the things that was the most painful to do, because I wanted all of the text to reference the actual text that the characters use in game. So I had to go through and look up like YouTube footage for these fights, or like for the rivals every time they appear, and try and base the text on what's going on. Oh, it's a pain. The X and Y rivals were the worst as well, because they say so little of value. So I had to make up a lot of stuff. But yeah, so like what does a trainer look like? So Rourke, we're at the moment, so obviously he has his opening text at the top. Each trainer has a particular species that they can be shiny for them. So this is something that I love doing. Adds a bit more variety. So they can't have any other shiny Pokemon, and I think this is also like a 1 in 5 chance. It's pretty high, because they won't always have it. And the actual team generator themselves look like this. It looks insane. So we can ignore that one for now. Basically, how to read this is it says, these are the types that I want. These are the types that I never want to have. And this is how many times I'm going to attempt to generate a Pokemon from this. If it fails to generate, find a Pokemon that fulfills this condition, it will go down 1. So say, for example, I don't know, you're playing a particular Pokedex that doesn't have enough rock types for whatever reason. So it goes, oh, I'm going to sample this as many times. Oh. And I failed, so I'm going to have to fall down to this one. This one's going to fail, and then it's eventually going to go and fill it with ground types. There's also like an overflow at the end where it just fills random types, but I don't think we ever hit that anymore. And then the diversity setting, if anyone has the type diversity setting on, they just look like these. They're the same as before. I just have to add this line at the top that says it's part of that setting. And then I can add any extra types, and I can add as many of these as I want. You can also specify specific Pokemon if you want. So for like the final quest, you'll notice that the Elite Four members have very specific Pokemon, and that's because I asked all of the moderators to provide their own lists of Pokemon. The last thing you can do, which is really cool, and this is brand new for Emerald Rogue 2.0, is I have this little script down here that I can increase or decrease the likelihood of something appearing. So that Pokemon at the top, that shiny species, is more likely to appear for Rourke. So it basically goes, if the species I'm currently looking into is a Craniodos, then I'm going to increase its favour, so I'm going to make it more likely. And another thing that all of them do is they have a preference towards their own generation. So if the Pokemon's from Generation 4, increase the favour, otherwise decrease the favour. So it will try and make sure it has Mons from Gen 4, but it doesn't enforce it. It doesn't force it only to have it. And another thing that I think was a secret killer that made it way harder, and I don't think people even realise, is this. The has unique type in team. It will try to fill gaps in the party based on type coverage, so like secondary type coverage. That makes it so much harder. And I don't think people realise that's what's going on. I think this is even skipped in easy trainers for like the first few gyms or something like that. Because it generally does make it significantly harder. Math. Generic China dialogue is gold. Yeah, I had to write all of that as well. I enjoyed going through and making some of them, but it took a long time to get text that wasn't cringe. I once had a Rainbow Run where 3 of the bosses in a row had a Megaino, one of which had three Meganos with 3 different movesets. That's crazy. I don't really know, honestly. The rock should never have a Bastion on. Neat. He can never have a Bastiodon unless he, for some reason, runs out of pure rock types. Or not pure. Unless he runs out of rock type Pokemon that aren't steel types. Does that make sense? So funny you say that, Savagem. Imagine if trainers could have unique exotics. When I was first implementing the uniques, I remember giving out the project to a bunch of early testers. And I think it was watching Nacho play or something like that, and then he tries to hit something with water gun, and it's just like, oh no, was it Nacho or was it P? I can't remember. Somebody tries to water gun a Pokemon, and it's like it just heals itself, and we're like, what the hell? Like, why does this like Geodude just heal itself? Because it's like there was a bug that it was making all of the trainer Pokemon unique Pokemon, but it only really affected their ability. It didn't really affect their moves. It was very funny. Did you just touch me? Exactly. I had some fun writing some of that dialogue. I remember my rival had a Calyrex Shadow Rider and Iron Bundle on the second battle. I don't know what ISTG is. I'm too boomer.
I swear to God.
I swear to God. Okay, the rival battles are harder than the gym battles. They're supposed to be. They are supposed to be. Hope you're having a good day. Hi, Realize. How you doing? Do you have a question about the trainer names? Shoot. What's your question about the trainer names? Also, this Easter egg that I had to sneak in that everyone knows about at this point. I need to point this way. I got to reference X and Y. Come on now. This was kind of a bit of a padding encounter. I found it was kind of useful though to be able to check who is the one. We don't know. Hopefully we'll find out in Legends EA. I swear every person I saw play Pokemon or play Emerald Rogue for the first time managed to go up here and talk to this sign, because that's what triggers the Easter egg, is you specifically have to talk to this sign. Oh, you didn't? Okay. I swear I saw so many people do it and I was like, damn, okay, that didn't take long.
It's okay. I got the surprise of it. I had to get told.
Oh, you got spoiled.
Yeah.
Just to say thank you for making Emerald Rogue. It's the most fun I've ever had of any Pokemon game. Well, thank you for playing. I'm glad you enjoyed. And the game show. I was sad to see the 1.0 game show go, I must admit. There was some elements about, you know, let's go gambling. Are we going to win or are we going to lose? That was kind of fun. But unfortunately, for the vast majority of players, it was just like I'm either avoiding it or I'm going in the door and immediately exiting.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. So
at least this version is at least something you're actively trying to engage in. Seems like there's... Okay, so Fisherman Kaya is a great name for a dude to have, but it's very uncommon. Was there a table mix-up, or were that they were a butch triathlete names intentionally? So all of the names mostly came from like a name generator, I think. I think I just looked for like non-binary names and just chucked them on everyone, honestly.
Yeah, you were in the mail. That's what gave you the barriers. I gave you a barrier. So
it ruined my sleep schedule, but worth. Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I probably ruined a lot of people's sleep schedule, honestly.
Yeah.
So the funny thing is as well, another thing people didn't like when this changed is the rewards don't feel good going up, which I do agree with. They do always increase in value, or they're supposed to always increase or be the same in value. So if you were to sell these items, you're kind of getting money. That's always going up and up. That was the intent behind it. Yeah, it doesn't quite work in practice. Oh, that's a weird cry. Probably Tangrowth, right? I think it's Tangrowth. I just did an interview run at work. It was some ton of fun and the thrill of Taboo playing a Pokemon game by an Xbox dev. Well, that PlayStation, what a combo. That's true.
Oh my god.
Oh. I accidentally just loaded a save state, but I've got the rewind button, so it didn't even matter because I just rewound past it. This is why you were buying rewind, guys. Yeah, let's stop though. So there was a funny Easter egg I didn't quite manage to get into the game. I set up an Easter egg, so if the game detected that you loaded a save state in this room, when you went to interact with the Pokeball, you would fight an enraged Electrode that only knew explosion.
Oh my god.
I was sad I didn't get it in. It was just because the save state detection stuff ended up being a little bit more pricey just to have it on in the background. So I was like, I'll just turn it off. I don't want to, don't want to jeopardize the entire experience just for a funny, because that's the only place it was going to be used. But it still exists in the code. It's just not enabled. That's why for Explosion Electrodes in the game data. Yeah, exactly. Now you know eggs. If you have any questions, eggs, by the way, if people don't know, eggs every review is the I guess it's fair to say the primary person that's like taking over, right? Doing the collating all of the fan patches together. So I think that's fair to say that you're like the person heading that up, right?
It would have been funny if all the people in the crowd would have died after the explosion.
Oh my god, that would have been amazing actually. Pricing what way from recent? It's just that it occasionally I noticed I had to do a lot of profiling to reduce the posture check. Let's follow. Oh, I've knocked over. Your posture check has resulted in my plushies dying.
No.
Ugh. There you go. Yeah, it was just took a little time away from the CPU, and in certain scenarios it was a bit laggy. To be fair, I did manage to find a bunch of wins elsewhere, so I probably could have turned it back on, but by that point I didn't see the effort. So yeah, this stop was a new one. And this was just because I wanted to break up the stops more. So originally in 1.0, the full rest stop was always where you went, and it turned up way too often. So I wanted to get rid of it, and I wanted there to be a third rest stop, and I really struggled for ages to... When's the patch that replaces all Pokeballs with 4 explosions of Electrode? True. I wanted to have a new rest stop, and I struggled to figure out what could go into it, and everything that sort of went into here kind of was just requests that had made sense. The Pokeblock feature was something that I'd been cooking up for a while, and eventually it was like, it just made sense for it to go here. I wanted Mints to move in here, so the battle prep rest stop was slightly less good. It's so strong. And the daycare was one of my favorite features to work on. The Cozy rest stop, exactly, and it's based on Salacion Town. I did say it right? Because I get Celestic and Salacion mixed up. It is Salacion, I'm pretty sure. Battle Prep was super strong. Outside of the full rest stop, Battle Prep was probably the strongest rest stop in 1.3, so I wanted to split it up. Also just learned from Nacho, Pokeblocks can be used to reroll Pokemon on roof. Yes, they can. That was my bad, because when the game first released, I don't have any here. Incredible. Perfect, so I can't show you that. The description never mentioned anything to do that, but yeah, they can be used to reroll one encounter on a route. It's very useful, very strong, and people don't realise quite how strong it is, and that's my bad for not communicating that. The daycare was super cool though. I like the idea of having Pokemon storage, especially as the game got harder. Having like good Pokemon in storage and being able to bring those Pokemon, more Pokemon from the hub into the run was super helpful. Shiny one is just for use in the hub. You can use it if you take it to the bakery, or did I call it a restaurant? I'm pretty sure I called it the bakery. There's a chef in the back. If you speak to that guy, he lets you turn a Pokemon into or from a shiny. But in order to do that, you have to have the shiny data in your Pokedex. So say, for example, you've caught a shiny Magikarp and you find a really cool, unique Magikarp that you want to be shiny. Oh, yeah, sorry, of course, yeah. It can be used to chain mods. My brain... I think that was a super last-minute addition, so I completely forgot that it was even a thing you could do. The item courier was also another last-minute addition. I talked about this on Connor stream recently. But originally, the plan for this guy was because I thought this rest stop didn't have an awful lot going on, so I wanted to add another guy to it. And I was going to make him an NPC which had a trade for you. So I was going to make it so he would pick a Pokemon from your party and go, I want that Pokemon, and I'll give you this one. So it's like Random Man, but you know what you're going to get ahead of time. Ended up not going with that because, again, that's Random Man already does that. That's what Random Man does, right? And I like the courier. I had like the idea of like, oh yeah, what if you could buy anything and everything you wanted, but you could only buy one of it? That was super cool. I liked it a lot. Feature I like be using when I venture out of easy. And that's how we'd love and appreciate the item courier. That's so true. Item courier is way cool. I agree. Arlie makes the daycare the best. Yeah, also agree. Because being able to guarantee that, granted, you don't have control over the shop you're going to get. But if you do roll a good shop and you can get like whatever held item you want, it's huge. Love a normal trade guide to show up sometimes. Crash Awake, let's go. Another thing on the trades is I was originally considering having a location you could make in the town where all the gym leaders rocked up, a bit like the villa in the Platinum postgame. But all they would do is they would offer you their Pokemon. Like, it was before uniques were even a thing. So you could like trade with Cynthia and get a Gibble from her, and that had Cynthia's OT and maybe a unique move or something like that. Was it possible to get the Kyogre Orb in the hub in 1.3? I'm pretty sure it was. I think you had to complete a quest to get it, but I can't remember which one it was. Because you're going back like probably about 2 years at this point. I don't remember. I could probably show my document of ideas, I suppose. See some of the ideas that got cut, if people are interested. Show us the secret documents.
That's what everybody is here for. They just want to see the secrets.
Exactly. Let me go to a route so I at least have some better music in the background. They are kind of ramblings because they weren't made for public appearance. They were just me just jotting stuff down for me to understand later, so they don't make a lot of sense. Let's go to the honey tree. That's got some nice music. Okay, let me bring up to be fair, I was expecting doing this, so it's not like I haven't already considered bringing it up. Let me just... Oh, and saying that I haven't logged in on this PC. Oh my goodness, I'm throwing. Give me just a moment. All right. So this is my kind of my Google Drive folder with a bunch of madness thrown everywhere. So I say when Emerald Rogue started, because it was so small in scope, I just kept everything in Google Drive and I just tracked everything in Google Drive. So I think this is the old feature list. Yeah, original dumping grounds. Yeah, I even marked it as that. Literally 99% of development was just in this document. I just added bullet points because I didn't feel like I needed to do anything else. It was only when I was like starting up the work for like for 2.0, which was probably about 2 years ago by now. Actually, no, it was just after Christmas, maybe beginning of February. 2 years ago, that is. And I was like, this document clearly has outlived its day. So then I moved over to an actual tracking software. I went over to Trello. Although I did have some notes in here. I had some notes to do with like daily runs was a thing I was considering. I was considering having like each day you'd get like a run where you could only do it once, and you had a unique set of curses or a unique set of restrictions you had to do it with. and you had a unique reward from it, and it would just randomize it each time, so everyone would have their own daily run they could do, or to try and sync it up between everyone, but that would ended up being a bit more difficult. And ultimately, I kind of pivoted away from that because I'm like, I don't want this to be a daily thing. I want people to just pick it up and play, you know, a bit more like old-fashioned. I should move chat over quickly, actually. I can still read whilst I am in the screen, because at the moment I cannot. Battle Tower now. That's a throwback. Major features. Kind of hard to do a daily anything. I mean, I could sort of work around it. I had some ideas for how I could work around it, but ultimately I just ended up not wanting it. The Overworld Mons was a super early thing in 2.0's design. So before I even realised I was making 2.0, because it sort of started as like, what do I want it to be? Do I want it to be a 1.4? Do I want it to be bigger? I wasn't quite sure. Another idea I experimented with, the actual Overworld maps. I added more encounters, so rather than it's like you do 3 things and then you go to a gym, I made it so you did 5 things and then you go to a gym. But I made it so only 2 of those things were routes, and the other stuff was just random stuff, you know, just random smaller encounters in between. It didn't end up doing what I hoped. I think in order to really do that, I need to kind of cut routes altogether. Which kind of, I didn't want to do that. I feel like cutting routes removes what Emerald Rogue is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a condensed celebration of Pokemon experience, you know. So the routes are key to that. I couldn't cut that, which is why I didn't do that. The Healing Flask is first mentioned here. Esther style flask. I had that in relatively early, but every time I played with it, it just sucked. So I honestly was like, I wasn't going to include it in the game at all, and then I was like, I can just put it in the challenge area and have some quests around it. But I honestly think it just sucks. It's just another resource that isn't fun to play with. Same with bag size and TM rework from day one. And yeah, I wanted to put everything in the Pokedex. That's another thing, obviously new for Emerald Rogue. And I love the new Pokedex. I really enjoyed working on that and having all of the data that you would want about a Pokemon easily accessible. It was great. True to UX again. I called out very early on that it was a super slow process, so I definitely need to improve that. Initial bag size is punishing. It's supposed to be. It's a roguelike. It's a great thing to upgrade. Well, I guess technically roguelite. It's a great thing to upgrade between runs. Anything else worth calling out? Difficulty modes. A lot of these ideas also worth mentioning. If you see something on this list, it doesn't necessarily mean it was definitely ever going to happen. These are just like me brain dumping ideas that I could do. And then later on, I sort of assess, does it make sense with the state of the game? I'll get to PokeRide in a moment. PokeRide wasn't planned. It wasn't planned early on, funnily enough. PokeRide was super interesting. Randomizer palettes. Yeah, this is the stuff that was mentioned. So where's the randomizer palette? I don't even see that in the list. A randomizer setting, there you go. Palettes. Yeah, so obviously that's come up a lot. People want randomizer in-game. Ability to do types, abilities, move, and so on. Unfortunately, a lot of the optimization that goes into the team generator would have to be turned off for this, and it's slow. Like, if I turn off all of those optimized paths, that's going to make this so much slower. You're going to be going into a trainer battle and be sitting there for like 2+ minutes before you even get into the battle, just on a black screen whilst it tries to generate it. It didn't make sense. And also it's the type of thing of like, you can already just randomize an Emerald ROM anyway. And it also held issues of like, how does the hub work if you're randomizing? Yeah, it was just a bit of a headache. So I decided not to go ahead with that. I think the palettes was for like type randomizers. If I was going to go ahead with the type randomizer, I love the type randomizers that randomize the Pokemon palette. So you get like a hint at what type that Pokemon is based on the color. Of course, those things would have all been options if I had done them, but progression NPC. I prototyped as a lot, different ways to do like lots, because I knew I wanted you to build your hub in your own way. So I had the idea of there would be like empty plots and you'd go up to the plots and click on them, and that's where it placed the house. But the issue is it made everything really like what's the word? Mathematical, I guess. I don't know. It sucked the life out of it, right? So like a lot of the reason that they're just like mini little areas that you upgrade bit by bit is because I can make those areas have a little bit of character to them, which is a lot harder. And then the player house ended up being an area which people could you know, turn into whatever they want anyway. So I think I sort of did what I wanted to do here. I had a crazy idea as well. I was going to introduce so many different types of currencies. You guys don't even know. I was going to have it so like
Bitcoin.
you would have to like craft your items rather than buy them.
Oh my god.
I know, in the hub that was. In Run it would still work the same, but in the hub. And then you could, the idea was originally you would have like a place like the woods or the quarry or something like that. And you could go and place a Pokemon there with like the NPC, and then they would give you an item, you know, they'd give you stone or they give you logs or something on those lines, and then you can use those items to craft the items you want. That was the original idea. The more I was planning it out, the more I was doing it, I'm like, this just feels over the top.
Yeah,
So
that would have been a nightmare.
Yeah, sounds like a nightmare. I would have loved that. I mean, we've got a bit of a mixed crowd, but yeah, I again, just an idea. Potion Cauldron on steroids, basically, yeah. Potion Cauldron was added very late, mind you, just to go back. Yeah. I'm trying to think else. Oh, I had this crazy idea, the adventure bag. God, that was confusing. So the idea was you had an infinite bag size in the hub, or basically infinite. But then you deposited items that you wanted to take into the run into like this little overworld bag, like a PC. You almost like you deposited it, and those are the items you started. Oh, it didn't make sense. It was stupid, so I got rid of that. What else is there? I was gonna do something weird with like the Pokemon that appeared. I was gonna make like this weird little offline system where like Pokemon would battle 1v1 against each other and get like a score, like an elo. And then that would be used in the generator to determine how often that Pokemon should appear and whether that should be a late game or not. Didn't end up needing to do that, and I was like, it seems over the top. Again, it's just me just dumping onto the paper crazy ideas and just seeing what sticks. What were any ideas you anticipated for leftover building materials? So I didn't ever actually had any like crazy. So it's a feature that my rigs, my runs are rigs. It's true. Just specifically you, Nacho. Everyone else's runs are randomized. Yours aren't they? Hey Abby, just wanted to say that I love what you did for the community with this game. Introduce Blunder to it. Oh, amazing. Hi, how you doing? Anyway, damn it. I can't remember what I was talking about. Yeah, I just splatting ideas on the table. So I knew I wanted to change the shiny rate as well because 1 in 100 was too crazy. I can't remember what I moved it to, but 1 in 200 was what it was at most of development. I think I moved to like 1 in 500, did I? You rightly love Mudkip. Damn. Held item rebalancing, there's another thing. So obviously held items don't get consumed anymore. And then all the prices needed to be adjusted alongside that. Code cleanup stuff, different forms. I don't know, anything else? A lot of it's kind of technical, boring stuff. I knew I wanted a rival from day one because I just love the idea of a rival. It fits Pokemon so well, and also given I already had the precedent of doing 2 champion battles, that was just like a no-brainer because it's like, oh, you can fight the champion, then you fight your rival to finish the run. That's just amazing. My rogue assistant planned right from the get-go. It was called Rogue Services, apparently. But it had a lot of different ideas. This is how I was considering doing dailies, by the way, of like you had to connect a road assistant, and there's also stuff like leaderboards. I was gonna have, you know, like multiplayer like sync stuff that I did, and I was gonna have runs and stuff. The Pokemon Bank stuff that sort of worked. I was gonna let you export to PK Hex. I ended up not doing that because it ended up being nightmarish. It wasn't too bad. I just ended up never wanting to do it. And I was gonna do a custom mode. You could build your own custom dexes, and your own like restrictions. like make your own quests basically, and then you could make like a share code and share it with each other. And see, that's an idea that if I'd stuck around, I probably would have made that. The issue there was it takes up a lot of memory on a GBA that doesn't have much. So a lot of that was figuring out a way to condense the memory. Nothing praise for you in this game, but nothing but hate my heart for you as a rival, by the way. So you work too many words, sorry. So probably picks up Rose doesn't code because I feel like there's so much that can be done with it. I mean, hopefully it's surprisingly simple, what it does at least. It just like reads a block of memory from the game and then just writes that block of memory. There's just like conventions and how it works. Garlic bread for raising friendship. What crazy thing was I on?
Garlic bread.
I don't know. I was going to tutorialize the game more. I don't know. These are like even older ideas that was like from 1.0 and prior. I don't think there's anything. I mean, whatever I did didn't survive or did. Yeah, I don't think there's anything specific for 2.0. Yeah, so that was the bulk of the oh, that's the old stuff. This is the stuff I made for 2.0, which is like the plotting out the most important stuff. This is the oh, I missed chat. Should have been a ketchup bottle. How did garlic bread not make it in? Let me feed my annihilated garlic bread. I don't like garlic bread doesn't raise friendship. When did you start development? I started development of Emerald Rogue, like the very first version of Emerald Rogue. But should show that later, by the way. People remind me to do that. About a month before it was originally released, which, if my memory serves correct, I think was around July 22. I think. And then I worked on that for like 6 months until 1.3 released. And then I took a little break, and then around February time is when I started all the work for 2.0. February of 23. You want garlic bread when you want it now. 22 sounds right. I honestly forgot. I read through these yesterday, right? I didn't spot that garlic bread comment. I have no idea what I was on about, but I should have had garlic bread. I know I'm throwing. Guys, I'm coming back to developing Emerald Rogue just to add garlic bread. Don't worry.
Let's go!
Joking, of course. But this is like some early messages about the plots and how they're going to work. Originally, the house you couldn't build. It was just like an area that you upgraded like everywhere else. So you had the ability to like change the time of day in the season, like how you do with the bed. And that's where like the berry garden was. You had a little like field that your Pokemon could walk around in. But again, I just ended up turning that into an area which the player could build whatever they wanted. So it's a win-win. I was going to do a photography hut. I was good, like, what if I had like a green screen or like some cool little places that you could like pose your Pokemon and take photos? That would have been cool. But again, it's just like,
Oh, that would have been awesome.
Didn't necessarily make a lot of sense to do. So it was actually Kate who secretly added so you could buy garlic bread. Damn. That'd have been smart, honestly. I would have bought garlic bread if I saw it on the list. Yeah, I don't think there's anything too interesting calling out here. Oh, actually, there was one thing I was considering, which I didn't end up doing. So before Pokeblock existed as a concept, a lottery NPC, that was just a reference to, in the Pokemon games, you have the lottery that you go through, and then they're like, "Hi, your numbers are you didn't win anything." I was just gonna add that
Your
basically.
numbers are you didn't win anything.
Well, you know those NPCs, like 1 in a million, they'll be like, "Oh, here I have a Master Ball." I feel like Ball Guy kind of fills that number anyway.
Lottery?
Lottery
Gamba?
huge. It's a great ball. Fuck you. Yeah, Ball Guy kind of does that already, right? Yeah. Oh, that was another idea. So originally, before the rival existed in the way that it did, I had the rival was going to be a character that you named and you picked at the very beginning of the game was the concept. And then they were your rival in every single run. So it was like a same character that you grew with. And they would get harder or easier based on how it was last time. Again, pivoted away from that to just having the the rivals from the main game appear, and I think that would have been a lot. I think that's a lot better. I think that was definitely the correct decision. But regardless, what I was saying, before Pokeblock existed, I had the concept of introducing gummies from Mystery Dungeon series, because you had the typed gummies, right? You had fire gummy, water gummy, soda, or is it red, blue, whatever it was. You had different gummies representing each type. And what I was going to do was make it so when you went on a run with a particular Pokemon in your party, you came back, and rather than being given rare candies like how you were in 1.3, you'd be given gummies based on that type of Pokemon. So if I went in with a Pidgey, I'd be given normal and flying gummies, and then I would use them to go to specific NPCs in the hub to like teach them moves. So that was a currency for the Pokemon. So if I had like a fire type that I wanted to use, I didn't have to leave the hub with the fire type in order for it to gain levels. Because I would just get fire type gummies that I could then use to level it up after the fact. That's an idea I did do. Again, I sort of cut it when I was like, I've got too much currency going on. Just make it simple. Just make it 2. I have the build parts and I have the Poké Dollars. And obviously I got rid of rare candies, and I've talked about that a lot. Rare candies in the hub just kind of meant people just hoarded them and then leveled up the Pokemon to level 100 the second they entered a run. Yeah, it wasn't very fun. So I was like, get rid of it. Just give them EXP. I also had Mystery Gift, so this is a bit more technical. Mystery Gift was an idea that I had planned out. It was the idea that I could dynamically release content for the game in these Mystery Gift codes. Like specific mons. I think it was unique mons. Or potentially like challenge quests. I had the idea of having to do like escort quests. So you would have these unique ones that would appear, and you would be able to do a specific run type where you started with that mon, that unique mon. If you managed to get it to the end, you then got it in the hub. But again, didn't end up doing it. I ended up pivoting towards unique mons as a concept, just a separate thing that you could find and grind instead of mystery gift codes. Especially because this was difficult to get in a certain number of numbers. Like, the codes would be pretty long. And then I have some ideas about multiplayer. But this was just, again, like I said, this was just like my original sort of like ramblings. And this is where I moved to. This is Trello, if anyone hasn't seen it. So Trello is like a task tracking website where you have these lists, and you can add little tasks to the list, and you can add information like comments. I hope I haven't got anything too crazy in these comments as well. I could just like dox myself here. I probably don't, but just have like some crazy comment and get cancelled. Okay, what are unique mons? Okay, if you haven't got far enough for unique mons are a feature you unlock later in the game. This is obviously spoilers. Feature unlocked later in the game where Pokemon can spawn with abilities and or moves that they don't normally have. They're sort of the end game grindy thing that you can do. You can get like good unique mons by going and catching them in runs. But yeah, this is like a little task tracking thing where I have all my tasks that I've been doing, what the progress is, and I update them, and then I put them into these lists at the end. Nacho subscribed as well. Let's go. Thank you, Nacho. You disappear for D&D. Thanks again. Well, no problem. Glad you turned up. But a lot of this is just nonsense, right? But I think it'd be interesting if I could go through and talk about stuff that didn't quite make it. So I had a couple of rivals, I guess, that I was considering adding. I was considering adding red. Didn't make sense. That mirror match guy from 1.3, because that was one of my favorite mini bosses. The guy that just had your team, but just for the entire run. Mirror B and the Western Coliseum with some other ideas too. They would have been very fun. Tate. I was going to add Tate. I didn't. Poor Tate. I had some ideas for game modes. Oh, it was a game show. Yeah, so I was considering for the game show I could have that mirror match guy be there. I was considering having like it would keep track of past teams or Pokemon that you've released and then force you to fight them. That could have been kind of funny. Or like ask you trivia about your Pokemon. I also was considering for a while remaking the underground minigame from Generation 4 and having you play that in the game show. You had to like get all of the things, otherwise it would fail. did one run and beat it. I like the special dialogue for beating your first run though. That was helpful. Custom ventures I've already talked about. Just letting you change anything and then share those details. Honestly, I've probably gone over pretty much everything at this point. Streamer mode. Oh yeah, I was gonna add a streamer mode that let you connect the game to Rogue Assistant, and then like it basically let you do like stuff like crowd control, have chat like do random stuff to your run. So like give you items or empties your bag or like replaces the next trainee you're gonna fight. Did they ever make it into the game show? The mirror match did not. Mirror match was in yes. It was in 1.3. I don't think I put it into 2.0, did I? Unless everyone else remembers better than I do. I was going to have an underground hub area too for that mini game, so you could get like evolution stones. It was wild. Phil isn't there in spirit. Yeah, I don't think there's anything too interesting to call out here, unless anyone else has anything that they spot and they want me to talk about. I can jump back to the game now, I suppose. Love the Gen 4 Underground. Yeah, it was cool, which is exactly why I wanted to reference it. Ah, Honey Tree, my beloved. Took forever for people to figure out how this Honey Tree worked. Again, I think it's one of the strongest encounters in the game that people don't realize how good it is. Is the starter Pokemon weighted? The starter Pokemons are weighted. There'll always be Pokemon that can evolve. And it always tries to make type triangles. It'll pick a type triangle. It doesn't pay attention to secondary typings though. So if you've got like a grass water fire pair, but the fire type is, I don't know, fire ground, it doesn't care the fact that it's now like neutral to grass. That type of thing. It doesn't give a crap about the secondary typing. Yeah, let's rush through, complete a single run on this stream. Ah, I didn't talk about PokeRide. So the reason PokeRide existed, funnily enough, is literally just because I suck at making sprites. That's the entire reason PokeRide exists. I kind of said as a joke at one point when I was chatting with some friends, I was like, it would legitimately be easier for me to program a system for you to ride Pokemon than it would for me to make sprites for the bike. I bow at your doorstep every day for PokeRide. Oh, thank you. I said that and then I was like, hang on a second. Wait, that's true. I can do that. And then I experimented around and I was like, it's kind of crazy if you make... So the sprite sheet for those just looks like... You just cut off like the bottom part of this sprite looking down. So like the legs and the torso you cut off, leaving just the hands. And then you just put it on top of the PokeRide. I did have to go through and like configure where all the sprites sat in comparison to the Pokemon they're riding. Hang on, that's not just true, that's awesome. Real, I vastly prefer ride my Arcane or Annihilate over... Exactly, that's also... It's cool. It's not something I have ever seen a ROM hack particularly do, outside of like, rather than surfing on a surf blob, you're surfing on a Lapras, that type of thing. Multiple style solution. Exactly, yeah. I was like, it's so much easier if I just... Oh, I should have gone into the other brush stop there. So much easier if I just take away the bike and replace it with something else much cooler. And again, yet more meta progression. Let you surf, let you access water encounters, let you climb over ledges and even eventually fly. Like, it was a super fun thing to work on, and I was so hyped. Do you have a favorite feature you added in 2.0? That's a hard one, honestly. That's a really hard question. There's so many features in 2.0. I don't think I do. I don't think I can answer that one, Nacho. I'm sorry. I enjoyed working on a lot of them, and I really hyped because I think, again, part of the thing is the core formula in 2.0 is not too different from 1.0. It's just I've just shoved it full of quality of life and polish. Like there's a couple of features that are different, but ultimately it's just a more polished version of the 1.0 games, right? Or 1.0 versions. Let you see a shiny in water and doom because you lost your ride. True. What feature was the biggest pain to get in? So I personally hate working on maps. Anything map related was a pain. So I shit you not, I started working on the Sinnoh route maps at the very start of 2.0's development. At the very start of 2.0's development, I started working on those Sinnoh routes, and I finished them right before I released. Mapping for me can be so... I mean, I don't mind mapping if I'm making stuff. If I'm just copying maps, it's such a slog. It takes so long. That and copying out the trainer text. Copying out the trainer text took forever. I had the trainer data in for probably over a year before I could finally finish writing out all the trainer text. And people don't even realize half the time, so I'm like, was it worth it? If all of the trainers had just said, like, what did they say in 1.0? It was like, come at me, that type of thing. Train mons, let's go. Good luck in your next battle. There, that was one of it. Would anyone have really noticed if they didn't legendary spotted as well? Hello? I forget all the wild Pokemon are actually the correct levels. You don't want an unpheasant. This guy, get on the ball. Chuck a netball at you. I forgot there wasn't unique dialogue in 1.0, but didn't notice any dialogue in 2.0. There you go, exactly. I do not know better. See, the route trainers were alright. The route trainers and the grunts were fine, because I just got to make that up. But I was committed to making the gyms, the gym leaders, try to use their original dialogue. Or have it based on their original dialogue at the very least. These outfits are needed some glow up. Let's grab a couple of you guys. Hiya Barry, how you doing? Oh, we can do the Gamba now. Look at this Gamba, guys. You got a forward sword. That's a pretty good roll. That's a pretty good roll. So for those who don't know how that works, that is there's like a small table of items that all have an equal chance of coming out. You can get like rare candies out of it if you're super lucky. So you're the one wiping out newbies. I like my favorite one. I think was the grunt who's like, maybe I should switch to Team Magma or Team Aqua. I think there's a grunt on each side who's like, maybe I should just swap sides. Any sell for more than 1k? Most of them cost more than 1k to buy. No, sorry. Some of them cost more than 1k to buy. Most of them cost less than 1k to buy and obviously sell for less, so no. But it's kind of funny though. You're gambling. I should probably turn the battle speed up, shouldn't I? I'm just here to go swimming. Can you just not? Protein, what the hell? This guy's packing. Also, what is the nickname of this thing? Voa Vanga. So for anyone who doesn't know, the nicknames, the automatic nickname mode, I just like generated, or I got a list of like some common, I got a list of like common fruits and vegetables. Common foods, some baby names, and some common household items, I think. Some kind of tamarind. Okay. How peculiar. Embarrassing. 2.0 has been cooking me, and I haven't won a run yet in 1.3. I was winning a ton. But that just goes to show the difficulty jump in 2.0. Zebra man and thing. Honestly, I learnt a lot of brand new words from the random nicknames. Let's put you to 4 times. You can go to 3, and we'll put you on 2. 2.0 is just way harder. My friends can't get a run cleared. Yeah, it is. But this is why I added difficulty options. So if you are struggling, like just drop the difficulty down until you find like a good medium, right? You got a lot of wiggle room. You don't need to drop it all the way down. You can just drop a couple features down. Let's evolve you. What's with him? Never. God damn it, guys. Zarude. Pretty sure this is the Roma, right? As I dev, I know too well, telling them to lower difficulty hurts their pride too much, lol. Yeah, I have the same struggle. My favorite retro art's also the achievement, so I don't get save states. Oh no. It's easy, and I just nope. Alright, let's paralyze this. Oh, okay. Or we get outsped. No, never mind. I don't know why I was surprised. Of course it's going to outspeed me. It's a bloody Zarude, and I'm a Celio. They were added just for fun as well. When I had the overall Pokemon in for static encounters and stuff, I was just like, you know what? Roaming legendaries, as much as people hate them, are iconic in the Pokemon series, so I gotta get them in. Alright, this is gonna be super hard, guys. I'm definitely playing this legitimately, by the way. Super legitimately. Yeah, they're a lot easier to play with when they're overworld encounters, because you just get to see them and run towards them and slowly chip them down. That's also a thing, right? I didn't want them to be frustrating. This is a real nail biter, exactly.
I forgot I was in call, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh, okay. I heard you get up and leave at one point, but you didn't say anything, so I wasn't sure what was going on.
Oh yeah, I had to, my mom was calling me.
Okay.
I came back a fat minute ago and then I just tuned out. I forgot I was here.
This stream's really loud. What's going on? Our items moves lures cost. So, my secret of Emerald Rogue, alright? It's not a very well kept secret. Everything was done as automatically as it could be.
Whoa, secrets.
I work at like a high level. I don't work at the low level when it comes to like, I'm not going in and like intricately editing the Pokemon sets one by one. I'm doing it generically. Like I have like a list of all the sets and then I go through and process them all, you know. I got them all from Smogon and I'm like, this set is going to be ridiculous to give early game, so I'm going to tone it down a little bit. That move isn't going to be there. I'm just going to give you a level up move and so on, so on, so on. And I did the same for item costing. So occasionally I went in and edited item costs that didn't make quite as much sense. But generally speaking, I just came up with a formula that I applied based on how often they were used in the Smogon sets. That's how most of the costs for the moves and for the items were based. Would you be able to go over some of your custom tools included in the repo? What sort of tools would you be interested in hearing about? That's how every roguelike's made. Yeah. Identity stuff of 1k at 1k and 8k. Here's about the query generation and maybe if the quest making is automated at all. So the quest making isn't necessarily automated. It's all in those JSON files. Hang on, I can show you. Let's go back to data view. Woo! So the JSON system I set up just basically compresses it just like includes JSON files. It can reference other JSON files that all get collapsed into one at the end and fed into the tool, so I can split everything up, which is why there are different files for different groups of quests. Let me find out where that lives again, because I have forgotten, because I am silly. Just a silly bean. Source data. There you go. Quests. So let's look at the default quest, for example. Hang on, bring the chat down as well. Oh, come on. Everyone and their mother wants leftovers. Exactly, which is why they're expensive as hell. Main display. Yeah, so the quest files are automated in that there's very little like bespoke code for quests. They just work on this like condition system, this trigger system. So you basically have a bunch of triggers that you can listen for and then do something with. So like 2 adventures, super easy. Whenever the run ends, just success. Mark the quest as success. And then there's some stuff to do with what items you get. So there's like a custom pop-up. Yeah, I don't think there's too much to show you beyond that. Let's look at some of the more interesting ones though. If I go to like type master, I suppose. So this has like a bunch of defaults set. So I don't have to copy paste it all the time. So in this case, a quest will get marked as active, inactive, or active or inactive, sorry. So down here, basically what we're doing is we're saying that, I mean, you can read it, it's like when this trigger happens, when the trainer battle starts, we're going to call that condition only if the party only contains type, which there's a function that ends with that. I can't remember what it starts with, but if you just search for that in the code base, you should find that. And it calls that with this template param, which we get set on this quest down here. So for example, normal master sets that to type normal, fighting sets it to fighting. If this condition fails, mark the quest as failed. So it deactivates the quest. It says that it fails. And if we enter the Hall of Fame, we've gotten there without anything marking it as failed, so we mark it as a success. So we pass the quest. There's also some quests that, I don't think I've ever got an example, have the same condition, but instead of fail, you can like break. You can like break out how you would in like out of a loop. But it only works if you are responding to the exact same condition. Yeah, I don't think I can really find a good example off the top of my head, but yeah, that's basically how the quest things works. Back to full screen. Ta-da! Hope that made sense and wasn't just complete nonsense. I don't mind showing like JSON stuff, but I don't want to go like just digging into the code because 90% of the people here won't have a clue what's going on. At least with the JSON file, hopefully people can read it because it's just English but formatted in a horrific way. No, that was helpful. I didn't know a bit about the default block. Yeah, so the default block is everything in this file gets defaulted to those values, or every object in this array below it gets defaulted to those values. And like I said, they just get all included, so they all get merged into one big file, and that file is the one that actually gets processed. I think there might actually be a few bugs with that, to be honest, so just be a bit careful if you spot anything weird. I vaguely remember some stuff popping up to do with that.
We just casually want you to data mine your own game. What's the big deal about that?
I mean, it's already all there in public, so...
Yeah, pretty much.
English, but in a horrific way, is generally how I think and speak so fair. That could be my catchphrase.
English, but in a horrific way.
Yeah, the English way. Which is pretty
British
horrific.
way.
British.
Sorry.
Tuesday, innit?
Tuesday.
proper Brit bonger. Is that what Kaya says? She calls us Brit bongers.
That's a funny name.
Yeah. Oh, I'll be a Brit bonger.
Everyone's favorite Brit bonger.
Weird for me to see the back end of GBA game and not see everything compressed to an insane degree. Yeah, I can't imagine working like on a binary hack, honestly. For those who don't know, the traditional way in which you kind of like modded Pokemon games or made ROM hacks is you basically would write tools to go in and like edit the compiled like just the raw like machine code that the GBA is like running. But that is literally just you're just looking at random numbers and you just have to know what you're looking at. Basically. It's nightmare, and I don't want to do that at all. It sounds tedious as hell. The modern way of doing it is people have like reverse engineered the GBA game, so we actually have like human readable code, human readable source code that we can then compile, so we can do whatever the hell we want. We don't have to worry about like trying to find blocks to get everything to fit in. We can just do whatever we want. Very cool. Very appreciative of everyone at Pret for having decompiled it, because Emerald Road would not exist without the decompilation. Is an intended feature for being able to send out 2 Pokemon in singles battle sometimes? Not really. That was just because Emerald Expansion updated that to be a possible thing, so you could enter a double battle and fight just one Pokemon. So I was like, yep, that's kind of funny, and just kept it. I did it by accident, and then I was like, yep, no, I'm keeping that because that's very funny. I didn't intentionally do that and make that into the design. Oh, I'll catch a Mimikyu. Mimikyu's cool. Econ projects are amazing and really open the floodgates of great ROM hacks. I 100% agree. Like I'm catching Pokemon that I'm never going to use. Oh, nice. We just saw a disguise bug there, did we? The animation played for me, not for the Mimikyu. Would you believe that GBA was one of the more readable consoles? It should have seen some of the stuff the arcade devs did. Oh yeah, 100% agree. Oh, I believe that. It's funny, so I ain't complaining, and it makes things easier when I can throw out a Heracross when a Gyarados at the same time. Yeah, I agree. This, actually, is my favourite new encounter. The Battle Simulator is my favourite new encounter, because I know everyone liked... Not everyone, but a lot of people liked the mini bosses in 1.3, and I loved them too. They were super fun, but unfortunately 90% of the trainers that would appear as mini bosses just became gym leaders or just became rivals or something like that, or they're now like in the game as evil team leaders, so didn't make a lot of sense for them to remain. Also, one of the big problems I had with mini bosses was people would I love and hate Joey at the same time, because he gets a team that just smokes me. Yeah. This is also another thing. I wanted to keep Joey in, right? I got to reference Joey in some way. Yeah, so problem with mini bosses was people would sometimes avoid entering them because they were just too tough. It's too much of a gamble, right? Because you have a good chance. You're basically fighting something that's kind of like a pseudo gym leader. And hopefully you get a good Pokemon out of it. Maybe you get a good item and some money. But who knows what it's going to be, and who knows how many Pokemon are going to faint in the time. So this is a nice way of kind of working around that. Having it be a simulator. Let's give some IVs. Yeah, having it be... Oh, I don't know what the level 5 thing does in this. I don't know if it works correctly or if I broke it. I moved through Primal Kyogre at meet once. It was excellent. Exactly. Oh, so it does work properly. Oh, okay. Is this an entrainment Durant? It's not, damn it. Could have let them wager their soul like Yu-Gi-Oh! That would have been a bit too much, I think. Dude. This has got a steel type. But this is a much less lower risk, but it still catches a lot of the same, like, weird fun, I guess. That the... Oh, nice. Good thing I got hustle. A lot of the weird fun I've got in, out of the, mini bosses.
I don't know how to. That's crazy. Isn't it?
There you go. Easy peasy. Just that easy, guys. I didn't even use debug tools there. The most played battle tower Emerald has ever done. Ever had, sorry. Smoked him. Easy peasy. Just ignore the fact that I had a legendary and they didn't. God, I think I need an actual drink. I think my milkshake has run out.
Good.
What? What's wrong with my milkshake?
It's strawberry. That's what's wrong with it.
What's wrong with strawberry milkshake? What do you have against strawberry milkshake?
I don't like the flavor of artificial strawberry.
It's not artificial.
Oh. Okay, well then maybe it's slightly
I
better.
don't know, it's probably artificial, I really don't know.
Does it have ice cream in it? Like strawberry ice cream?
I don't know.
I
Probably.
do not know.
I didn't make it, I ordered it. I wasn't paying attention. I just drink it because it tastes good.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't think there's anything else worth calling out. Like some interesting, like, development secrets or something. I don't think so. I think I've spoken about most of it.
Did you rig Nacho's game?
Oh, of course, yeah. I've already said this. Of course I've rigged Nacho's
okay.
game. Just
Oh,
Nacho.
okay.
If it detects
Just
that your
Nacho, yeah,
name
yeah, yeah.
was ever set to Nacho on your PC, or on any game on your PC, then
If you had this specific IP address.
exactly. And I make sure to like constantly update the game, so whenever Nacho's IP address changes, he's still getting bad RNG.
Emerald Rogue tracks your IP confirmed.
I mean, according to the oh damn, I got out of bed. So rude. According to the antivirus pop-up, Rogue Assistant does, so it
Oh.
doesn't, guys.
Oh,
But
well.
it's just
I-
literally because it opens up a port for multiplayer. It just looked at it and it
Yeah.
goes, "Damn, that's sus. It must be malware." Like, okay. I'm sorry that I couldn't afford to get this digitally assigned. Personally hacked the copy. Everyone's copy. You think I'm just hacking Nacho? I gotta look. If Nacho's gonna be playing on someone else's PC, I've gotta make sure that he has bad RNG.
Could you imagine being that like petty that you you go after just the one person?
She knows my
She
location.
knows my location.
I'm rapidly watching your location.
And she's rapidly approaching to make sure you don't win in a
That special GBA Wi-Fi signal really been getting out on him. Yeah, exactly. I can't wait until the day that like DS decomps have gotten to the point where you can like reasonably work in them as well. I have like briefly looked into doing like DS ROM hacking and I'm just like, oh my god. Like decomp DS ROM hacking is just not, it's just not a thing. It just, well, it's not
It
a
really
oh,
isn't, yeah.
you can do it,
There's
it's
not a lot
just
of
so hard to do. I hate
Mhm.
it. Seeing hacks like yours and Elite Redux make me super excited for the future of Emerald Run hacking. Well, thank you very much. Hey, technically there was GBA Wi-Fi, wasn't there? I've been infrared. There was infrared. Yeah, I have one of those somewhere. in my GBA bag. But there was technically somebody made a Wi-Fi mod. Drayano seems to have high hopes about Heart Gold decomp. I mean, it's getting there. I have had a look at it. It's getting there. It's just predominantly still assembly. So, and the majority of the C that's there is like hard to read or use. I did actually try compiling it recently, and it's like I compiled it, changed a couple lines, and something else completely irrelevant throughout a compilation error. So I was like, oh, okay. I don't know what's going on there. Early versions of 5G. They're telling my run is going pretty well. Well, now you've told me. I gotta where's the big red button? Specifically labeled "fuck over Nacho's run."
Look over Nacho's run.
Just there's decomp. I mean, Diamond has a decomp that exists. Platinum also has a decomp, which I believe people are working on. Oh damn! I just got sniped by that tuber. What the hell? The tuber. It's so funny because everyone hates the tubers in 1.3, and I made her line, "Let's play a game," and whenever I read that in my head, I think she's like the guy from Saw.
Do you want to play a game?
Well, because she was like public enemy #1.
Yeah.
I was like, accidentally gave her a really good text line. Thank you for the follow. I can destroy the world. Look at me go. I had fun with the voice lines. Diancie. Enraged. So this is the reason I added Enraged. It wasn't already obvious. Was because in 1.3 you had to fight an NPC to get to the wild Pokemon, and you didn't know what it was as well. But now you know what it was, so you know what it is. Sorry, before you go into it, so you know we want to risk it. Also, it lets you not have to fight a trainer before getting it, but still provide some sort of challenge. Oh god, yeah, it's level 70. Oh my goodness. I forget. And it let me nerf Quick Balls. Because Quick Balls in 1.3 were utterly broken. What's the state of BDSP right now? BDSP modding is... Oh, bye-bye. Didn't do it deathless, guys.
Oh.
So sad.
Rewind. No one saw it.
No one saw. BDSP modding is probably popping off, though. Wow. Cottony, you did so much damage there. Good job.
It's a Cottony. What do you want it to do?
I want it to pop off. Connor goes on about Cottony all the time. I want to see the same. BDSP being Unity's helpful modding. Yeah, 100%. I think they probably regret letting them putting it in Unity, honestly. Dude, get in the Pokeball. The super serious run. Oh no, the only time Pokemon even have a chance of dying is when I'm fighting legendary wild Pokemon. Let's give you a move, because I don't think you actually even know anything. Smackdown will do just fine. Last Aria Illuminated Platinum Trainer has me so hyped. It does look pretty cool. I think if that's the one I watched. The Illuminated Platinum team. Super, super cool. Talked to a couple of them a while back, and it sounds like they have some really exciting ideas and plans for it, because they're basically trying to do, I guess, what the oh, didn't mean to do that. The Emerald Expansion Project is, where they're trying to make like a nice base that everyone can use in their BDSP projects. So we could honestly see a lot of BDSP ROM hacks, or I guess technically mods. Guys, I'm gonna let you in a secret. ROM hack and mod is just the same word. I mean, ROM hacking is a specific type of modding. Okay? It's still modding, but it's just a specific type of modding. Not all modding is ROM hacking, but all ROM hacking is modding.
Hashtag not my ROM hacker.
Hashtag don't make it. Oh no. Guys, I'm being cancelled. They took Renegade Platinum and made it into Luminescent Platinum, and now they're taking it a step further. Yeah, they like split out into 2 separate teams where they're kind of doing that alongside making a base, right? It's like the difference between fan games and ROM hacks. It's so specific and ultimately pointless. Yeah. I mean, the only term there is like the technical, right? The ROM hack part of it is like, well, you can play this on original hardware, and it was a mod for original hardware, where fan games are like, this is just its own built thing, usually. But again, all Pokemon ROM hacks are technically fan games. So.
No, Abby, you're ruining the immersion.
Oh no, I'm sorry, guys. Is this what you expected from the Emerald Rogue farewell stream?
Abby actively ruining everything.
Oh, there's a Rude. There's a big guy. Just chilling. What are your memory problems for having overworld encounters? I know GBA memory is kind of dire. The overworld counters weren't the memory problem. The memory problem came with having to have quite a large amount of memory just stored for like generating the trainers and the wild Pokemon. I have like a big block of memory that I just have to keep around because it's too blocked to reasonably dynamically allocate, or it's too large, sorry, to reasonably dynamically allocate without fragmenting the hell out of memory. But it can't be. It can't be the maximum size I want it to be. Music, in terms of actual like so we're talking about like RAM here. In terms of actual like runtime memory, music isn't too bad. It's not too bad. It doesn't take some time, but in terms of ROM memory, it took up tons. Although, funnily, the vanilla version of this game, annoyingly, was just over 16 meg, so it has to be a 32 meg ROM. I was super sad about that because I was like, if I could keep it within 16 meg, that would be really, really cool. Ever so slightly pushed it over, so it's a shame, but. I do feel like I became quite adept at like diagnosing and profiling, or particularly Emerald Rogue at least. Oh my god, he's here again? Dude. I see why you guys don't like the rival. He's just everywhere, huh?
Mm-hmm. Crazy how much things you realize when you play your own game.
I'm joking. I know he's everywhere. I know. I was like half my team again. Thank you. Well, you shouldn't have egged me on to press the button. I only pressed the button because you wanted me to. This is all your fault, Nacho.
She's kind of right, low key.
I'm victim blaming.
Lost like half my team. Thanks, Abby. That's so messed up.
Bet you enjoy pressing that button. Occasionally. Most of the time it's just like by my feet, so just occasionally I just like kick it, you know? So you just never know when it's going to happen. Makes sense. It was a shame I couldn't get more music in, honestly, because I would have loved to have, at the very least, Gen 5 music or some like different renditions for music past that. That'd have been super, super cool. Part of me kind of wants to. Oh, this is the full rest stop as well, for those who haven't seen it for some reason. Just has everything in it, including an EXP drainer over here, which is kind of cool. This map, it's hard to tell, but this is based off of a route in Gen 5. There's a bridge to the left section over here. It's just outside of, oh, what's the name of the town? The Dragon-type gym leader. Was a Root of Ola? I think it was. It's been a while since I've... Chancy Lady is best. Was wrong with music again? Just compression? I mean... I'm stupid is the problem with music. I can't make music. The big thing that eats away a lot of the ROM memory is having to have different sound fonts, and then obviously having to have a lot of tracks in there. That was also a concern. I had attempted to... Oh, again, didn't mean to click that. I had attempted to commission people to remake Gen 5 tracks in the DS sound font, because I think the DS sound font sounds cooler, and it moved away from the GBA sound font from the original Emerald, especially after I've got some help from the original creator of the Emerald music expansion, Scion SMP. They were super, super helpful with solving the audio corruption issues. Yeah, I was hoping to get some music commissioned in the DS sound font so I could still have those tracks, but just remixes or, like, you know, reimaginings of those tracks. But unfortunately, that ended up being a bit too technical and or a bit too expensive to do. So sadly, couldn't do it. Like, I think it was going to cost me like upwards of $80 per track, which is a bit crazy, right? And that's like assuming that I could even figure out a good workflow with the musician or the sound designer, I think is the technical term there. I don't know. Oof, yeah, exactly. Disabled? Dude, let's just read. You've no idea what I've been through. That's true. Nacho has trauma around the Chansey Lady. Send them the clip, Nacho. I mean, to be honest, he did deserve it. After how he played, he did deserve it. I lost a Pokemon to the Chansey Lady in... I don't know what that says. It's asterisked out for me. Something mething once. Ah. Galactic Hideout. I remember making this map. It's funny because, again, in playtesting, I had to add, like, different... There were too many warps. People got too confused about where they needed to go, so I had to add green tints to the warps you're supposed to take. Ran out of PP and struggled to death. Oh. Nacho's got you one up there, I'm afraid. Look, a Master Ball, which I guess I'll pick up. Oh, I like Cherish Balls. Bye-bye. Let me get the clip. Was that happened at the beginning of my Ghost Monotype run? Back to H is one of my favourite tracks in Eternal Galactic Building. I do like it a lot. What legendary think we're going to turn up after this? So there's different legendary classifications as well, if anyone was curious. I'm pretty sure it's already... Oh, for Pete's sake, I just loaded. There you go. I'm pretty sure it's already obvious, but certain legendaries can appear as roamers, certain legendaries can appear in the early legendary encounter slot. And then this one is called the box legendary encounter slot, and certain legendaries that sort of qualify that can fit. I think not all of them are technically box legends. Technically. The vast majority of them are, though. Love and Hate, that was my most watched clip. Money on Moltres. I don't think it can be Moltres, right? For the box legend slot. I think Moltres can't appear there. If it's going to be Gen 1, it'll be like Mewtwo or something. I hope it's one of the Gen 4 mons, because I love Spear Pillar map. I really liked what happened to that. Let's go to this name. Oh, it is spear pillar. There you go. Huge.
You rigged it.
I did rig it, didn't I? But it's so simple. I just added these pillars, and unsurprisingly, I was like, wow, it's spear pillar. It's crazy how when you add pillars, it makes it look like spear pillar. Using my dev powers. I mean, I could rig it if you want. I have dev controls to be able to do that. Also, fun fact. If I throw the master pool here, also obviously doesn't work, but it's still there. There you go. Little factoid for you. I didn't have any fairy type move. Okay. Oh my god, dude. Do I even have any moves I can hit this thing with? Play rough, I guess. Yeah, I specifically added it because it's a bit ridiculous if you could, actually a lot of struggle with posting. Do you want to DM me the link and I can send it at you? I don't think a Shadow Sleep would kill, but... Oh, it's Psychic Terrain, I'm stupid. Yeah. Bye-bye, bot. DM me the link. I can post it. Well, this moveset sucks. Oh, and it uses earth power as well. Okay, there we go. This is Emerald Rogue in the Scarlet and Violet category because apparently that is what you're supposed to do according to Twitch. I don't know why they just do that. It's weird because they made just a Pokemon category, but nobody uses that. All right. Now we continue. Thank you, awesome job. Thank you. Should we use the Palkia, given that it just killed half of us? We are, in case anyone didn't know, because I am doing like a little dev commentary, I am open to Q&A and whatnot. So I'm basically just...
Questions, comments, concerns.
Exactly. I'm just going through trying to share any interesting factoids and just sort of playing along in the background with a debug setting set on, so everything's level 5. So basically I can't lose. It'd be really impressive if I did lose.
It would be just a stain on your record.
Oh yeah, because I haven't done embarrassing things before in my life. Nope, this would definitely be the very first one I've ever done.
It would be the first one. Yep.
It would be. It's true. It's true. Chat, I have never been embarrassed ever.
Don't watch that video of Abby doing an American map. It's fine.
True. Yeah, that was pretty bad.
I rewatched that because I posted it onto YouTube, and I rewatched it. I was like, damn, we're stupid.
That's so bad. I legitimately got more locations on Mars correct than I did states in America.
I rewatched that, and then
to be fair, I will also say I am much better with countries though, right? Because I was thinking of like, I'm pretty sure I'd be okay at South America, and obviously North America is like piss easy.
Yeah, that's just like 3.
Because like, I would learn about like in school, I'd learn about countries in the world, but why the hell am I going to learn about states in another country? Because like, you're not going to get taught about like, you know, different Russian provinces or different like UK counties and stuff like that. So it's not too surprising that I don't know where any of the US states are.
I didn't even know UK had counties until yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yes.
How many times have I spoken to you and you didn't know we had counties? We have tons of them.
We don't talk about counties. Because we have counties, but I think it's different because for us, we have states, and then within the states, we have counties.
Whereas our counties are probably about similar size to yours, I would guess, but or how they are in like your states, but unless did 1 damage. They have kind of more control, I guess, than your counties probably have, but less control than states have, I
yeah.
would guess. Asking American territories is funny. I mean, that's what we did.
Sometimes
We
there's,
did
like,
we did a European map, right? And I
Yeah, we
beat
did.
you on that, not by an awful lot though, mind you.
Not by much, yeah.
And then we did the US states, and I was awful.
And then we did flags, and we don't
We
talk
did flags.
about
We
that.
don't talk about the flags. The flags one was so funny.
I rewatched it the other day. When I posted it, I rewatched it, and I was like, this was hilarious. That one where it was like, is
So
it the
everything that's
red
new
with
is, like,
white
New York and
stripes?
Jersey. In UK has York and Jersey. That's true. Yeah,
It's funny.
we do have a York and we do have a Jersey. The catching contest as well is another thing I haven't talked about yet. I don't think there's an awful lot to talk about. Other than when it first came out, I didn't indicate that it's like a limited number of spawns. People think it's a limited timer. It's not. It's a limited number of spawns.
Oh.
So, because I don't want people to be able to like guess and predict. I want people to. I think it said base defense. I didn't actually read that. Yeah, Nacho broke this several times. He was an early playtester and he didn't even report these bugs just so he could exploit it. I can't believe it. I'm joking, of course. Yeah, it was obviously catching contest from Generation 2. Wanted to have it in the game, and I thought this was a fun way. 2 birds, 1 stone. It's a very chill encounter. Just spawns a bunch of the guys, get some money at the end, and also you have it's a nice little gameplay thing because you have the choice of, do I want a cool good mon, or do I want like do I want to win the contest? You know,
Yeah.
it's a bit of a question, a decision you have to make. Eventually it'll just run out if I fast forward. There you go, they're all gone. Big points when the winning Pokemon is 1-1. Exactly. Pretty sure
Well,
I failed.
my pride and joy in Emerald Rogue is still the legendary quest. That
Yes,
was
that's
all
true.
me.
That's true.
I mean, I didn't put it in, but like that was my idea.
Apotheosis was Dolphin's idea.
Yeah. And nobody knows.
SMH Abby using bird-phobic language. Instead of killing 2 birds with 1 stone, try feeding 2 birds with 1 scone. Okay, I see. My bad.
Wow. I'm gonna start using that.
Big points when you get to level 17. Get a level 17 Flygon because you accidentally open the Pokedex stats. Oh. I see. Well, that seems like quite an easy exploit, doesn't it? Thank you for the follow.
If anybody sees any bugs, don't say anything. Just let them be.
If you saw some bugs,
Abby doesn't need
no
to
you
know.
didn't.
If you saw bugs, no, you didn't.
No, obviously there's a bunch of bugs because, you know, I didn't get around to making as many patches as I had hoped, so there's still stuff going around. I think generally the game is pretty much stable. It's just,
Yeah.
unsurprisingly, there's a lot of content in the game, a lot of different variations, a lot of bugs just slip through the cracks. So, yeah. Bugs are just surprise
personally-
features, exactly.
I loved the Dragon Darts bug.
Yeah.
That was my favorite.
It's so funny because a lot of those stuff coming up was like Battle Engine bugs, like I said, because it's mostly from the Emerald expansion team. So when I hear about them for the first time, I'm like, what? Why is this a thing? Okay. Mist explosion. Okay. Lucian is a bird lover. Apparently, yeah.
For the people who didn't know, in what was it, version 1.3 or was it 1?
1.2 or 1.3, I don't know.
Alright, well, in one of those 1-point versions, Dragon Darts was like, what, coded over a move that, like, hits 1 to 5 times? So if you had a Dragapult with Dragon Darts, it would just be an instant win.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
because dragon darts hit 1 to 5 times.
To release a patch that has a large chunk of those bugs removed. Yeah, so everyone keep an eye out for any posts by Eggs Over Easy. There is, if you go into the general channel in the Discord, the Emerald Road Discord, not the one that the stream keeps linking, there is a pinned message in the general's channel that should point you towards a thread to keep track of all those fan patch releases. So.
Oh, 1.3 triple axle did the same thing?
The damage in
know that.
triple axle was bugged, right? It wasn't being calculated
God.
correctly. It was like super strong.
Oh.
I swear I keep seeing Orbital. Why is Orbital here so much in this Elite Four?
Completely off topic. I saw a really funny TikTok about a rat. I don't know if I sent it to you.
I mean, if you did, I probably wouldn't have seen it because I don't really open TikTok at all.
No, like on Discord.
Oh,
I don't think I sent it to you.
maybe not. I don't know.
It was really cute. It was a rat, and he took a little noodle from his owners, and then he
He
couldn't
held it in
carry
his hand.
Yeah, well, no, he couldn't. So he just started like hopping away.
To be fair, they
really
also do
cute.
those little hops when they're happy.
Oh,
They do like happy hops, no bounces.
I'm telling you, dude. If I didn't have cats,
Rat
I've
baby.
and lived not with my parents, I would have bought a rat at this point.
I'm glad I have put you onto the rat train. We have 2 pet
really
rats for anyone who
have.
hasn't seen them, and rats are so adorable. They're so sweet.
I've never thought. I mean, I've never been like disgusted by them, but like
Again,
I've never
people
never
don't
thought of them as
realize
adorable.
people don't realize how good of pets they can be until they see them, right? Because they think, again, people, if you think of a rat, my friend Etch has a pet rats. Exactly, they're so good. They're so good. People think of them, they think they're kind of a bit gross. Or like, why would you get a rat when you just get a hamster? But honestly, rats are so sweet. They have so much personality to them. They're incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we are. You guys want a rat cameo?
Yes.
I'm going to assume the answer is
absolutely.
yes. Yeah, the answer is yes. Shame they don't live all that long. Honestly, that's the worst part about having rats is they don't have a particularly long.
We talked about rats for
lifespan.
2 seconds, and Kate was like, "Rats?
Honestly, she heard rats and she's like, "Oh, I want rats." Oh, should we bring
Rats?
back Hannah, guys? I thought that the Wolverine's name was Voyager for a second then. Rats, rats. Here come
Question
the
is
rats.
she gonna bring pickles or boots?
Probably pick. Yep. Oh,
Yeah, probably pickles.
you
All right, everybody, get ready for the rat.
trying to get in? You okay? This is Pickles. He's a roan rat. Hang on, I go full screen, shall I?
No guy.
you
I
go.
love him so much.
Look at him.
Oh, look
What
at
are you doing?
pickles.
What are you doing right now, huh?
A baby.
He's a nutter. No, he's very sweet.
we need a pickles emote. Now that you have
Oh,
them.
we should get a Pickles emote. That's true. What are you doing? He doesn't know where he's going. He's camera shy, bless him. He loves kisses. That's his thing. He's very much a mama's boy. He'll just happily like sit in your hand and like just kiss you. It's way better than the street ones, and well, I would hope so. I'd hope pet rats are better looked after than wild ones that have to live in garbage. But a rat for these trying times, exactly.
A rat for these trees.
I think they're gonna try and get Boots, which is his brother. Boots is very photogenic, although he's a little bit
Pickles is my
as
favorite.
kissy, but he loves
Yeah.
cuddling.
Yeah, Pickles is my favorite, like, interaction-wise, but Boots is just really pretty rat.
Boots is super chill. He's super laid back now
Yeah.
as well. He almost lost his balls. He almost, because there's a common thing with rats. If they get too like hormonally aggressive, you give them the snip.
Oh.
Because it just gets with the hormonal aggression. Oh. He's confused. He's like, why have I been taken out of the cage? What's going on? He's like, why am I here? This is different. I don't want to be here. Oh, get
Oh,
tail
look at
whipped.
the baby.
He's confused.
Little curly hair guy.
He probably just wants to be in your sleeve, doesn't you? What are you thinking, huh? What are you thinking?
Rat was so good. There's a rat too.
Exactly. He's fuzzy. I said this before. He has curly hair because he has a Rex gene. Oh, where are you going?
Just looks like he's trying to tuck into any place and hide.
He is,
Little
yeah.
guy.
I don't think he likes it out that much. You go put him back. Yeah. It's funny because you'd take him out and have him like crawl across your arms. And then you have to go put him back after a while, or just showing that his home's still there. Because he'll be like, oh, my cage is still here. I can come out and play some more. He's very funny like that. This one is Remy. But he has a Rex gene. It gives him curly hair. But funnily, I said this before, but when rats have 2 Rex genes, they become bald for some reason. Don't know why. That's just how the gene works.
I would just say like
Emerald rat, exactly.
the white rats, emerald rat. The white rats with like the red eyes, those are unsettling to me.
Albinos. Species
Yeah.
curse? No, that's such a bad curse, guys. Also, again, that little text box, very quality of life, because I hated having to go into my bag and having to read the curse every time I got one. We could just speed for everything. Cool, nice rats. Oh no, hang on. Every time I go through it, I got a gamba. Moo look. Damn it. Red eyes, even on bunnies, are a little bit eerie. It can be, especially if you catch them
rabbits
looking a
too.
bit funny. Send you a video at some point that Kate took earlier of her cuddling with Boots. He was proper sleeping, and he was just had his hand on him, getting like petted, and he was in bliss, bless him.
Screaming and crying. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, again, if I didn't live with like my family or whatever and didn't have like cats and a dog and everything, but even then, I don't know if I'd get rats, because like you were talking about how they die like every 2-3 years.
Yeah, they didn't have very long
That's a lot.
lifespans. Yeah.
That's like, I'd be sad. At least with like Apollo, it's like, okay, well, it's gonna be about 18 years, you know, I don't have to get ready for it or whatever.
I mean, that is the entire reason why after these two eventually pass, we are probably not going to get rats again for a while. I can see us getting rats again one day, for sure, because they're just so sweet. But
yeah,
God, going through,
a loss,
loss of a
family member,
loved
essentially.
pet, every 2 years is not nice. Aaron sent out a wormadon plant. I'm in agony. Nacho also managed to lose to a wormadon plant, for those that want the context. Oh, I didn't realise that Connor joined. When did... It was whilst we were talking about rats.
We were talking about rats.
Yeah, I just saw him at the top of the chat. I'm the giant
When did
rat
he
who
join?
makes all the rules. Writing question, what kind of chair are you using? It looks comfy. I'm thinking of getting a new chair since the current one is kind of squeaky. This is pretty squeaky. This is not a gaming chair. This is I can't even remember. I can send you the link. If you can DM me just to act as a reminder after stream, I can try and find the link for it.
Does it make your butt hurt if you sit on it too long?
No, it's very soft. It's an office chair.
Oh,
Also,
I'm gonna need that link too.
also, hang on. Oh no, I can't put it back because I've got plushes in the back. It goes all the way back, and it has a leg rest that comes out, so you can properly lie flat in this
send me
chair.
that link.
It's very
I'm
cool.
begging you, send me that link.
I will again send me a DM quickly so I can. Oh no, I'm already in call with you. I just have to try and remember afterwards. Can it get a gamer mode? Leg rest chair, right? Honestly, I don't use the leg rest too much. I'll look after stream to get it. Don't worry. I didn't forget. I had like a couple like gaming chairs, or I've used them over the years, and I always thought they were a bit overrated. Cynthia.
I got one, and it's kind of like the same where it's like it has the leg rest and everything, but like the bottom of it, like it if I sit on it for longer than like an hour, my butt just starts hurting so bad. I'm like, this isn't a gaming chair.
Queen herself. Thank you.
I shouldn't do this.
Gaming chairs are overpriced. Yeah, I mean, it's just like they're just not good.
They
This is
really
why you
are.
go for office chairs, because office chairs are not built to be like necessarily luxurious. They are built to be comfortable.
Do you remember how much your chair was?
I don't. I feel like it was £100 maybe, but I honestly don't remember. Also, fun fact: Cynthia. Most of the trainers have like their text is set up in such a way that they have like a pre-text, then the music kicks in, then their actual text plays, and then the battle starts. Cynthia is the only case I think in the game where it just goes straight into the music because the piano is too iconic to not have immediately start. True gamers keep it uncomfortable to stay alert. I don't know. My back is not good enough to do that. Oh yeah, speaking of, I was thinking, send you a chair, Nosy. Nice, that should be enough. Yeah, I see it. The commitment to the Cynthia music is awesome. Everyone loves Cynthia. What can I say? She is the favorite champion, and that's not even a question. It's funny how like I think the Pokemon community unanimously agrees that like Cynthia's first place. Who's second place though? I don't know, but Cynthia's definitely first.
Second place, with Cynthia.
Like second place is up for debate, right? Like we like, well, like I like Lance, I like Steven, you know. Oh, but Blue's so cool, you know, whatever. But Cynthia, 100% is first place.
No one ever fights that. Yeah.
Steven is probably Steven is probably Steven. I agree. Steven is probably Steven. Thanks, Leighton
He
Manor.
might be Steven, guys. I'm not 100% sure. He might be.
That reminds me of the grass knot boosted grass knot.
Grass knot boosted grass knot.
Shaman, let's go.
Connor, did you finish your stream already? I was gonna say, if you want to join, we can start a call in a different route thing.
We can. Although, I'm not sure how much longer there will be to the stream, if I'm honest. I'm not sure what more I have to say. Unless chat has more questions or things they want to learn about. No Garchomp she's throwing. I mean, she has, like I said earlier, she has like a increased likelihood for having Garchomp, but it's not a guarantee.
That works soon. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Near mine.
And of course,
What a
oh
throw,
my god,
honestly.
we've got to do another battle. Crazy.
Oh no.
Oh no, Cleo. What do you recommend to learn first if you want to get into ROM hacking?
Ooh. That's a good question.
I mean, to be honest, learning how to program, and specifically learning how to programming like C++ or C is probably a good start. When did you start programming? What motivated you to do so? I tried programming when I was a teen, didn't really vibe with it too much, but then when I hit like 16, when I started sixth form, I started doing computing for a A-level. Was it 16? I think it's 16 when you start. And then I had a friend that we would just like egg each other on, and we would try to like constantly one-up each other. It was surprisingly in a non-toxic way. It was kind of like we just wanted to like push each other to do better. It was kind of nice.
Yeah.
And then we both
is
started
nice.
programming, and we both started trying to one-up each other of like, well, I can do this thing in less lines. I can do it, you know. And then I eventually...
Are you still friends with this person?
I mean, I'm still like on good terms with him, but I don't like speak to him very much.
I was gonna say, look what I did. Show some emeralds rogue.
I mean, I probably could show it to him, but he doesn't know shit about Pokemon anyway, so he'd be like, wow, Pokemon.
The ultimate one.
The early days of ROM hacking, I turned the mum into a rock. Nice, huge. I mean, you can do that today if you want. That's still something you can do in ROM hacking. We make a different ROM hack or Pokemon project, or just the last. I mean, chances are I'll probably work on something again Pokemon related one day, but at the very least, if I was going to release anything, it would be, you know, years down the line at this point, because I don't want to get to the same point I was in Rogue where I was like overworking myself, because I was overworking myself on Rogue, definitely, alongside, you know, doing my day job and just existing. Yeah, let's go start the rival battle, I guess, whilst we're talking away. Pokemon, but everyone is a rock. Honestly, I get behind that. That'd be pretty easy to do. But going back to the how I learnt programming question. So after I started doing that, I remember I was just sort of like, or after I started learning programming with my friend through computing, we kind of like very quickly outpaced what the school was teaching. So we would like teaching ourselves. And then I was sort of like, wait, I could just make a game, right? And I remembered trying to make a game. It was pretty shit. It was pretty awful. And then I sort of realized, like, hang on a second. I could actually try and learn how to make games and try and like do that for a job. That sounds pretty cool. And that became like a massive motivator for me. And I just became addicted to it. I eventually went and did some graphics programming, loved that. Ended up managing to get into uni, and I did programming, or I did games programming there. Although I'll be honest, I outpaced the programming, the games programming course, and just mainly taught myself and just did the modules for credits and such. Because I just loved it. It very much became like an obsession of mine. Programming, I just found it very interesting, very cool. And obviously I love Pokemon, so I love programming, I love Pokemon. It's ROM hacking just sort of came easily. I didn't know what the hell I was doing when I opened Decomp, I just figured it all out. And people sometimes ask me if there is did I use any guides or anything? And like, nope, I did not. I literally just chucked myself up the wall and just figured it all out the hard way. So I don't have a lot of advice on there, I'm afraid. Love graphics programming. Yeah, I'm a rendering engineer by day. I am a rendering game dev. Well, I'm a ROM hacker by night apparently. Actually reminds me of Ruby Destiny. Oh my god, Ruby Destiny's a throwback. Having a stone you could talk to if you're stuck at any point. There you go, the credits. We did it, guys. I can't believe we beat our very first run. Where everything was set to level 5. Our very first run. Woo! That was so tense, guys. That was so crazy.
That final battle was...
It could have gone anyway, you know.
Yeah.
I remember playing that on my phone during holiday. I was shaking. With no cheats. I mean, technically there were no cheats. I'm not wrong.
Well, you did rewind once.
Is that cheating?
Actually no, hold on. It's because you loaded a different save, so I guess
there you go. It's not cheating. I got away with it, chat. I think we're clear. Can't believe I dodged all those crits. That's crazy. Honestly, there were so many of them, and I can't believe I managed to survive.
That's crazy, yeah.
I find it really funny how the credits shows 4 moderators and then throws in at the end like, oh, he exists too. I couldn't fit everyone on one page. I'm sorry. I tried.
I loved that. I laughed so hard when I first saw that. I was like, all the moderators and Nacho, I guess.
Nacho gets his own page, a dedicated page just for Nacho.
Right?
Credits legit. This is actually also another one of those features I loved working on. I had like the idea because I think it was actually you, Dolphin. You joked when you were playing Emerald Rogue once of like, don't even have your own custom credits. And I was like, God damn it, I'm gonna add my own custom credit secrets.
That was definitely Connor, but that is hilarious.
No, I'm pretty sure it was you. And then I just sort of like, I was just thinking of ideas and I was like, oh my God, wouldn't it be so cool if like, you just saw all the Pokemon that changed? So originally I was going to keep it the same as like Emerald. So you know how Emerald splashes up the Pokemon, and I was just gonna have it splash up the Pokemon that you used in the run, and I was like, that kind of feels a bit dull. I have overworld Pokemon. What if I just had them like wandering around in the overworld? And you know, eventually ended up making that, and yeah, I love it. It's such a fun way to end it. Yeah, say thanks to Dolphin, everyone. Dolphin was the reason this happened.
No, I don't want the attention, please. No, stop.
Is there a way to replay the credit video of the last run?
Not the voting thing, please.
I think when the Pokemon got released, they should have exploded. Oh no, that would have been a bit brutal. The end question mark? Exactly.
No problem.
Thank you, Dolphin. Thanks, Dolphin. There you go. Also, I assume everyone knew because this is common, but it cycles through all the different title screen music.
I actually didn't know that.
This is the Heart Gold Soul Silver one. If you start and go back. This is the Emerald one. It was a pain in the ass to get all of the music synced to the flashing though. And then the Diamond Pearl one. Little thing. I like to add in like really minute details. How come Wobbuffet is the mascot? That's a question I get asked a lot. The reason Wobbuffet is the mascot is the community. So when Emerald Rogue 1.0 came out, the community, it was a very different game. Actually, I can show you the first build of Emerald Rogue. I think that I said I was going to do that earlier. Let me do that.
Yeah, you said you were going to do that earlier.
Oh, wait, we've got post game to go to. Oh, it's me. Oh my god. Hi, me. Hi, me. I'm the developer. I know it's crazy. We're both the developers.
Whoa.
That's so insane. Before we get too far into the sequence, I'm going to finish answering the question. Basically, it was such a different game. You didn't know what was coming up in the grass. You didn't know what was in the route. So people would enter the grass completely unprepared, would run into a Wobbuffet, and more often than not, they would end up having a Mon faint to the Wobbuffet because, again, there was no warning. They were completely unprepared for it. So there's sort of an in-joke in the Discord server that Wobbuffet was, like, absolutely hated and was, like, the public enemy. So
it became the mascot?
Yeah, I was redoing the title screen. I wanted the title screen to be something unique, not just like the Rayquaza. And I was like, you know what? It's kind of funny. I'll make it the Wobbuffet. I might change it later. And it just ended up becoming the mascot. And I think it's kind of a funny mascot, honestly.
Originally, the mascot was going to be Crawdaunt, right?
It was, yeah, because Crawdaunt's the rogue
Because it was
Pokemon
the
in the
rogue
Pokedex.
Pokemon,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Was there a singular moment or inspiration for the final run? I mean, I do actually want to show the final run, but that's a bit spoilery. I don't know if people are up for looking at the final run or not. Maybe that's a good opportunity for a poll in chat. I can probably do that because I got it up here to the side.
I got you.
Oh, you didn't? Nice, okay. Basically, the inspiration for the final run was the glitch quest in 1.3. The glitch quest was super, super fun. And I loved it so much, and I was like, that feels like a good send-off. So I'm gonna make that the final run in this.
Make it a 3-minute poll.
Sure.
Right.
So by that, this will be spoilery. So if you don't want to see the final run, vote no, obviously. Yeah, Pokedex. I haven't actually shown it off yet, but you can change the Pokedex to whatever you want, and you get to see all the Pokemon in here. And you get to see all their abilities, stats, moves, evolutions, forms. There's also ride stats. It's pretty cool. The Sea Gear, just again, because I wanted another reference in the game. So if I'm going to give you an item that lets you remotely access the config lab, the Sea Gear felt like a good item to give you. Yep, and then it has different game modes, Rainbow, which honestly, I don't feel like a lot of people play Rainbow anymore, which is funny. Because Rainbow was like the most played mode by far in 1.3. But people generally just stick to Standard from what I can tell. I think because it just plays better when you have all the trainers turned on. And yeah, now we have all the trainers from all the different regions. So, pretty crazy. Bye-bye me. And we can also, we need to do the building. What difficulty do you recommend? I recommend doing whatever difficulty feels good for you. There's not going to be a difficulty which works for everyone. What type of experience are you looking for? Are you looking to challenge yourself, or you're looking just to have a nice, cool time? If you like traditional Pokemon games, I would very much recommend just picking easy and just vibing. You'll probably enjoy the battles a lot, but they're not going to be like too aggressively frustrating, I would hope. Particularly if you have like the not releasing Pokemon on death thing. Or on faint, sorry. This is the building as well. Also haven't showed this, so you get to upgrade the town. All towns are randomized. So you've got different layouts, and you get to build whatever you want and upgrade whatever you want. So someone who played Fuse Run Max, like normal mode.
I will say I need to dip because I got stuff to do.
Okie dokie.
In a little bit. I will be back. Or I will probably not be back.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Right, bye. No, it is just me. I'm gonna call quickly. There we go. I think I will do normal difficulty then. Don't want to make it easy, but also not legendary hard. Smell you later. Okay. Brutal is for people that hate themselves. Honestly, the pitch was like, people wanted a crazy difficult mode, so I'm going to make a crazy difficult mode. This I loved. All of those sound effects are just sound effects from different moves in the game. Like the thing at the end, the noise is vice grip, I'm pretty sure. I can't remember the other ones. They're all just sound effects. And Show Off the Final Run got a yes, so we will do that. I will give a warning right before we do, though. Let me give myself some debug stuff. Thank you for the star pieces. Thank you for the items. Yep, thank you, thank you. Get imposter check from my own girlfriend. What the hell? I was thinking I should probably make like a point redeem for like standing mode, because I have a standing desk, so I could like force me to go into standing mode for like half hour or something. That'd be funny. Courtney, let's go. Yeah. We had it as the starter choice. I could show everyone the later mana outfit. That was funny. Now I'll let everyone else get that. Just know that you have to be a Courtney. You can, if you want to see it, you can go to Later Mana's channel and look at the clip. I think that's yours, right? Connie went crazy last time. It died, and then we pulled it out from the lab. Why do I have to fight the rival back to back when this run is legit just rigged? Game over. OP Pokemon. Yeah. So you can build whatever the hell you want in this. If anyone hasn't seen, the pitch behind the hub is that I want it to be an area that you spend more time in, and it's more personal to you. So you get to build whatever you want in what order you want, you get to upgrade everything, and you get to do stuff like there's a home base where you can build that. So I'm going to build this off to the east, this home base, and I'm going to build the park to the west, and then we'll go for the little animation in a second. The ball guys are unnerving. Funnily enough, the ball guy, I made that sprite entirely myself, and it is unnerving. It's one of the few sprites that I entirely worked on. I modified a couple of sprites, but that was the one I made from scratch myself. The player home is pretty cool. You can just like start decorating. You just get to, again, I went like probably way harder than I need to here. Like, I've seen some people make some pretty cool pretty cool bases though, so it was very much worth the effort. But I definitely didn't need to go as hard as I did on just this as a mini game. Ball guy wants to be natural Pokeball so bad. I just built Among Us. That's true. I said before, but is there any stories or stuff behind the backpacker girl? Not really. No. I just needed the backpacker. Makes sense that they would upgrade your backpack. Hang on a second. Sorry, just asking Kate to get me a drink. Yeah, there's no lore behind it. I just needed the NPC to be there, and for the starter sequence, it made sense for them to be person who's up. Not bagging from PLA. It does not, no. She's just backpacker. But yeah, but now we got this area over here with this guy, poker riding. We can now do field moves, and people haven't seen one of my favorite features was learning how to ride Pokemon. It's so huge. Thank you very much, honey. I got a drink. Let's just go through and upgrade it. So we're given this, I mean, this you learn this pretty early on. But yeah, this is a super cool feature I very much enjoyed working on. I got my little Stantler, and I can upgrade him as well, and I can climb over ledges with him. I love this, like, for a way to like replace bikes. So if you don't know, you can ride most Pokemon in the game. Most like big Pokemon in the game you can ride. In fact, I could make it so you could theoretically ride any Pokemon in the game. It's not too crazy hard to do. Yeah. It was just a super cool feature. You eventually get the ability to jump onto water and surf with them. You get the ability to fly with them as well. It's super, super cool. Favorite features, unfortunately, doesn't work with your skin. It works with your skin in that you can ride the Pokemon. It's just that your character disappears. You want to ride a Pikachu? I mean, you could. I mean, you have the power to do that, Eggs. You can do that. There is just a file, like Ridemon info or something like that. I think you can just edit and add information there. So cute to see the tray. It is. It is. I was very proud of this whole setup. Just register that before I finish. Alright, for a little blast of the past, before we move on, thanks for the follow, Eggs. I am going to launch. So why are you a Smurf? I am a Smurf lum because you missed it at the beginning. I have a full... Thank you for the follow... What the hell, Connor? What the hell? You're not following me. What the heck? What the hell? That's so rude. I am a Smurf because a lot of people did that at the very beginning. Banning Connor. Whistle, whistle. I have a character customization game. You can change your character to be whatever the hell you want. And it goes through all of the 9 generations of characters. And there's a couple of Easter egg ones, so like I can just be me. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I do like Gloria. Gloria is such a good character design. Let's just go with that, shall we? And again, I'd like to reiterate, I said earlier, the only reason PokeRide exists is because I legitimately made a joke about how it'd be easier to program rideable Pokemon than it would be for me to make bike sprites for all of the new player sprites. And I still stand by that. I'm such a bad... What are the missed backsprites? It just means like the when you're in a battle, the throwing Pokeball view. So how much would I need to pay you to put Susan in mod? Honestly, for you, Lam, I'd do that. I'd do that. If you can provide me with the sprites, I'd do that, like, for nothing. I'd just do that for free, honestly. I really wouldn't mind doing that. That was one of the features, actually, I didn't get to earlier, as I was considering a way to add sprites, like, for that anyone can insert their own sprites into the game was an idea. If you ride Rayquaza, does that count as flying? Can it go over water? Flying is a different... Do you want me just to show you? Again, we're entering minor spoiler territory, so if you don't want to know about it, just turn off for a moment. Oh, I need more money. Hang on. Give money. So I get the gold whistle. There you go. I learned how to fly. Cool. So if I now give myself a... I mean, you said Rayquaza, right? So let's go with Rayquaza. I give myself a Rayquaza. And then if I get out on it, the ability to fly... Oh my goodness! Thank you for the gifted subs! That's crazy! What the hell? Thank you, Ben Risen. Oh my goodness. What the heck, guys? That's so generous. Thank you so much. I have, as I said, into 10 star. Well, thank you very much. That's crazy. What I was gonna say is you unlock the ability to fly, and then you press B, and it flies in the air, and now you can fly over water, and you can also fly over like NPCs. So like trainers won't force you into trainer battles. But you get like limited flight charges when you're en route, so that's how it balances. Yeah. That's so insane. Yeah, thank you for giving Ben Risen a shout out there. Thank you so much, Ben Risen. That's so generous. Insane. That's crazy. What was I gonna do? I was gonna show you all an early build, right? Yeah, that's what I was going to do. Give me one moment whilst I find it. So I wanted to try and find one of the oldest builds I have of Emerald Rogues. This isn't 2.0. I love Emerald Rogue. Well, thank you very much. And thank you very much for all of the gifties. That is incredible. I need to try and find it. Oh god, where is it? Data? There you go, old. I can't remember how old this build is, actually. Let's have a look. This might be one of the oldest builds I still think is remaining of Emerald Rogue. This isn't even a different title screen, I don't think. Nope. So for those who haven't even seen anything but 2.0, this will be a very different experience. So I'm just going to speed up through. There isn't even character customization. Exactly, V.0.0000. With Brendan, apparently. Still in the truck, because of course you have to be. I had instant text on, so that's good. The hub exists. This is the old 1.0 hub, where everything was super static. I don't think there's anything particularly exciting here. I don't think I had a debug menu, did I? No, I didn't have a debug menu. Did I have a debug door? Or was that too early for a debug door? The good old days. There is no debug door, because this is where the debug door would be. This is where it used to live. The config lab exists. This is what it used to look like. It was empty. Seeded mode used to be a thing. Thank you for the best use. Hard trainers exist. Over-leveling. Battle mode. EXP all. My lab doesn't even exist. That doesn't exist. This is before Emerald expansion existed. This is only Gen 3 Pokemon. And Gen 3 battle mechanics. Okay, so we had a starter thing. I think... Did I have the Easter egg? I did! This Easter egg got removed in 1.0 because there wasn't a good place for it anymore. But there's an Easter egg of if you don't pick any of the initial starters, you just get given a Sunkern. That's so funny. What year was this created in? The file... The date modified on the file said it was the 24th of August in 22. So this is probably about a bit less than a month being worked on, I think. No lab, the speedrun time. And even for people that are nostalgic, a lot of people didn't see the game when it first released. So let's say you just go on an adventure. There's no inside. There's no quests. I just go through. There's no overworld. I just end up on a route. I just end up there. I'm going to try speed up. 2 years. Yeah, 2022. Blast of the past. You don't know how far away any of the encounters are. There was no battle speed up either. Like, look how slow this is. This is just default Gen 3 speed. It's so painful. And even if I fast forward. That's basic EXP. I didn't give any EXP boosts. This is how early it is. It seems so sluggish. We were fine back then. It's so true, honestly. This is why people turn animations off, honestly. I did have berries in. Oh, a lumberry, huge. Got lum in chat and lum in a berry. And then that's it. You just keep going and eventually you rock up. It's me, I'm a berry. So painfully slow. I mean, I'm gonna just wipe because I've got a Sunkern anyway. Missing is a 5-minute long terror type scene. Oh no, please don't. We don't need that. Oh no! Oh, okay, we're fine. I thought that was gonna be like similar level to me. I thought it was gonna be painful. Okay, I must have EXP boosting. Alright, let me quickly capture something. I think I must have had catching boost at this point, because that was a really early on thing. And let me... I must have EXP all on as well, right? Oh, rap, huge. My favorite move. Okay. EXP all existed. This is just honestly painful. The fact that I have to use speed up to even make this. I can't press double tap B to run away. The old rest stop. There was no split rest stops. This was it. This is the only rest stop that existed in the game. All the tutors are down here. This takes exactly right. The old rest stop. This is so old that there's nothing over here. There's nothing on this right side. Because this is where the traveling battle stop was. Honestly, it was the simpler times. I forgot about this. And then I'm straight into a gym. The gym used to give you items. I can't remember why. I think it's because I don't think I get auto-healed. Is that why I gave items? I don't think there was a way to auto-heal after battle. Yes, rain. That's... Gym 1 has rain. Dude, what the hell? That's so rude. Fair and balanced. This is a really old build, okay? Really, really old. I mean, I've got to go into A. A can win this, surely. Okay, we have definitely EXP boosted as a thing. Alright, I died to a peg. Nice. Let's wrap everything. I may as well parallelize it. Parallelize. There we go, guys. We did it with the para speed up and spam. Did the Pokemon get removed from our party? They did. Oh, we did get healed though. So there you go. That is like the oldest version of the game. I don't think there's anything... Oh wait, there is one thing. Hang on. Ah. So there was a thing in the old versions of the game. I might honestly try and farm for it in the next route. The legendary encounters were so cool, in my opinion, in 1.0. And they're so... Oh. Go away. Okay, she just has a Snorlax. I don't think we're going to get to see the legendary encounters. Oh. We can just about see the legendary encounters, maybe, if we're lucky. So the legendary encounters in 1.0 were super, super cool. There would be a location on the map that would open up, and you'd have to look out for that location. You'd get like a little hint that it was happening. God, that's such a low-level Pokemon, honestly. But a lot of this was like, I just was just experimenting, right? I was just experimenting, see what worked, and then I was speeding stuff up. Like the Reggie stuff, exactly. Yeah. It worked exactly like that. You got a little indicator that it was happening. When this route was a bit longer as well, because I shortened it, because it was super duper long. Oh, hang on. Thank you for the follow. Let me keep trying and farm this. Because the RNG is not seeded. I don't remember how it works. It may not work, honestly. That's what about OG Legendaries as a stair. This is before the stairs even existed. Long before the stairs were even a concept. Nah, it may not work. Oh, hang on. No, okay. That's a shame. But basically, you'd have locations like I remember Bryony's house was one of them. The house, the door opened up. You'd get like the screen when you first entered the route. The screen would go like that, and then that would indicate that there's a hidden door opened up, and then you'd have to exit the route via that exit, and then you'd get a legendary encounter. It was so much cooler. Stairs weren't invented. Does Emerald progress RNG constantly in the overworld? It usually has some RNG checks for like cries and stuff like that that force it to go forward. How could you go up sideways if there are no sideways stairs? Exactly. Eggs over Evie gets it. Anyhow, that was just a little blast of the past. Not very exciting. Let me try and remember where my ROM was that I was playing. There you go. Let's look at the final quest. So, for anyone who doesn't want final quest spoilers, this is going to be pretty spoilery. So, after I beat my first run, one of the areas that you can build, this bit's less spoilery, is you can build the challenge area. And it's a free upgrade that you can build wherever you want. And this is where most of the post-game content is locked behind. So if I go there, when do you normally access the final quest? After completing one out? No, I can tell you in a moment if you give me a second. So we come in here, we talk to Scott. He's like, haha, what's going on? Yeah, that's nice, Scott, thank you. We come talk with these guys. So if you notice, if we look at our quest book, which we can register on a different slot, we have a few quests. We don't have too much going on, but we can talk to these guys and they give us different types of quests. So this guy gives us challenges, which are like difficulty quests. They're kind of like to prove that we can do whatever we want. And this is where a lot of like the padding from 1.3 got moved to. You do not need to complete these quests in order to complete the game. There's two different conditions here. So these quests are for the people that want to 100% the game, but you can beat the game without 100%ing it and move on. And that's a big thing that I wanted to do with Emerald Rogue 2.0. That was a big design goal for me, because people were playing Emerald Rogue originally and it's like, well, I've got to grind out 100% quests. You know, that's all I can really do in terms of like direction, or I just have to make up my own gameplay, which is also fine. So these have a bunch of different quests. So like the stuff for like beating it with like Kanto decks, or beating particular like types, and then there's like specific difficulty challenges. It's like this one's just got an insane amount of stuff going on. This is basically you're beating a run with only a single Pokemon in your party, and these are also linked to difficulty. So you notice that you got that little H in the lock. That reward is locked to a specific difficulty, so you have to be at least hard difficulty in order to get that reward. Funnily enough, there is also a graphic for brutal difficulty, but I never ended up adding any brutal specific rewards because brutal is a bit too much. So there's a lot to do. And not only that, if we talk to this lady up here, we get access to Masteries. Masteries keeps track of every single Pokemon that we enter into the Hall of Fame. So if we go through the page, we can see, eventually, Palkia is one of the Pokemon we've entered into the Hall of Fame. So you could theoretically go through and fill all of these out if you want. You don't have to do this. Thank you for the follow. Is there an icon for average? There isn't an icon for average because there's no awards locked for average. I don't like locking any awards to average because average and easy are kind of the same conceptual idea in my head of just we're people that want to have fun. It's just our own definition of fun is slightly different. It's like I want to have more casual fun versus I want to have more intense competitive fun. But, you know, I still want those people to progress and not feel locked out. So I never added any average specific quest rewards. Not that they'd be difficult to add, I just never did. So yeah, we have a couple quests associated with certain Pokemon in these masteries, which we, if we want to 100% the game, we have to complete. And these give you stuff like Mega Stones and Gigantamax forms, or rather permanent Gigantamax forms. Because you can get the Gigantamax form mid-run with a Gigantamax Max Mushroom. Can a game really be fun if you don't use spreadsheets to win? Damn, that's so true. So there's a lot of quests in here, right, for stuff to do. And if you look in our book now... oh yeah, she's a shop too. She sells any quest rewards that you can get. If we look in our book again, our quest book, we've now got 3 separate categories. We've got our main quests, which are the ones we previously saw, challenges, and the Pokemon Masteries, and they all add up to a total. So our total is 10% at the moment because we barely completed anything. We completed almost half of the main quests, but only 1% of the masteries and none of the challenges. There is also these, so mega stones. We love seeing our mega stones, right? There is the Z power ring. I may as well put these back. Actually, yeah. There is Dynamax. There is the Terra Orb. And there's a Healing Flask, which I talked about previously. It's basically just gets rid of your free heals. It's a pain in the butt. Let me put these back though. So these are stuff that you can add on to get that gives both you and your opponents access to that. And then we also have charms and curses. So these make your runs more difficult. A lot of quests require you to get specific curses in order to do them. The Healing Flask. Redeem posture check. Oh god, why am I getting posture check, guys? What am I doing? I haven't done anything. The Healing Flask removes any of the free heals that are in the game. So automatically you get healed after you come out of like a gym battle. That goes, but you have healing charges that you can use from the flask. It's basically just another resource, and most of the time you're like being careful with your PP. It's a bit of a pain. But there's a bunch of curses, and there's also the same with charms. You got a bunch of charms, although these disable quests when you use them, but useful if you want to do like shiny hunting and stuff like that. But anyhow, let's go to the final quest. So if I quickly fast forward and go right back to the here, I can collect my rewards. Well, unless it's been deleted by Pokabbie. I got a bunch of rewards. A lot of rewards. Thank you. Yes, nice. So those quests that say beat a run with 5x curses make it mega hard, then plus has to be on hard difficulty. Jeez. I mean, it doesn't have to be on hard difficulty. Challenges don't have to be on hard difficulty. They can complete any challenges on any difficulty you want. It's just... I'll show you. If you look, it says challenges easy, average, hard, brutal. You can complete challenges in whatever difficulty you want. It's literally just people that want to push themselves to go harder. They can try and beat everything on hard difficulties, but you can complete all the challenges in easy if you want. But either way, you don't need to do any challenges, or technically you don't need to do any challenges to get 100%. Because if I go to my little debug tool, if I go back to my debug door that I showed earlier on, I can complete all the quests. No. Complete all of them. And now if I look into my book, my things are going up because one of my debug tools. The final run you'll see here is a quest that I can now do. Actually, I need to do these, don't I? Hang on. Well, guys, I 100% at the game. Crazy. Again, this is spoilers if you don't already know. The final quest, if I find it, the final run has specific conditions. So I have to set it up like this in order to enter the final run, right? Beat the run in less than 30 minutes. Crazy. I know, right? So if I edit the settings, come here. I need to turn the trainers onto the rogue trainers, and I also need to change my Pokedex to Gen 9, which is already on. Oh dude, I'm speeding up too much, sorry. And now I can do the final quest, but the final quest has a really cool I've got a lot of Pokemon here. The final quest has a really cool Mana Voice, insane. Really cool gimmick that I kind of wanted to show and talk about. But again, this is super, super spoily. So if you don't want to see this, if you want to experience this for yourself, which I 100% recommend, don't watch this. I think this is probably going to be one of the last things that we look at anyway. So don't worry too much about missing anything on the stream. But yeah, this is spoily. I would recommend experiences for yourself for the first time. But I'm going to put on instant catch. I'll turn on... No, I'll leave it like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter the run as per normal. Going to take a long time to get. No, I've got debug tools. I am just going to show off how it works. So I just catch a bunch of Pokemon. Hi, guy. You can be. Oh, we got Marie. Amazing. It was meant to be, guys. And then I can do... Let's jump to the next difficulty. Oh my god, how did we get here? Get Tyrantrum, sure. Yeah, amazing. Incredible. And then if I go... Next difficulty. Next difficulty. This is what it means to have a debug build. Look at this. Super difficult. Let's do a gym battle before we... Or an Elite Four battle. Just because it messes up the progression. Level everything up. Oh, what am I doing? Clicking a non-damaging move and going, why am I not damaging anything? That's crazy. Hi, Genep and Baby Doll. Sure. Honestly, Baby Doll can lead, because that's such an amazing automatic name to get given. You're making this look easy! Wow, it's crazy. I can't believe I'm making this look easy, guys. Let's do the... Wait, what badge are we on? I wasn't paying attention. We haven't got any badges because we haven't been fighting anything. Alright, look, Jim. Wow, it's Kate. Oh my goodness, it's Kate. That's so funny. Sorry, Kate. Bye. Super hard. Cutest name for an itty bitty sheep. It's me. That is true. So now if we keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. Again, final warning. This is going to be super, super spoily. If you don't want to see it, don't look. We're going into the champion battle now, guys. Into the final run. Definitely legitimate. Oh my goodness, there's no one here? What the heck? This is one of my favorite features to work on, honestly. I loved this final quest. It was so, so cool. And then we go through. We're fighting me. You would know this already because I'm the rival in this run. Hee hee, hoo hoo, haha. So quirky. It's taken a while to generate because this is the first time the rival has ever been interacted with in the run. The same thing happens in Gauntlet mode. Wow, Ampharos versus Ampharos. Rayo Abby is so mean. It's true. Oh, what the hell? True. I can't hit it. Well, this is mean. It's because the trainer data for the rival is set up in such a way that it prefers Pokemon with high BSTs. Yeah, just I hadn't leveled everything up. Guys, I think we might lose. We've only got a 95 level advantage. Honestly, we could lose this. But generally this is progressing, you know, pretty normally at this point. Nothing too crazy going on. Also, I love the name Desert Fig. What the heck? Giratina, pretty normal for a final. Oh, okay. Sure, honestly, I'm happy with that. And Zarude, sure. Mega strong, that's true. Super, super strong. There you go, we won, guys. We did it. And now we go to the credit scene. Because that's the final quest. It's all over. It's all done now. Oh, what? But we haven't saved. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Who is this guy? What's going on? Yeah, so in case it wasn't already insanely obvious to those who've never seen this before, that was a fake out. This is the final boss. Game bugged. would you recognize as the random man? Old Stephen. So our friend Mr. Random Man would like to add a bit of randomness to our life. Dynamax Metagross. Given I don't have Dynamax enabled, that would be pretty hard. This is the final quest. You have to... This is the main quest. So this is like... It's called the final quest because once you've beaten this, this is like considered the end of the game. Everything else you do is extra to that. That's like all post-game. But it's such a good final boss and I love it. He's taken our baby doll. He has our Pokemon. We've gotten... He's randomized our team. He's given us a Necrozma and a Keldeo. We actually have to be a bit careful because they're still level 100. I don't even remember what anything has. I mean, honestly, I'm just going to keep clicking on everything until Urshifu comes out and kills everything. I loved working on this so much. Maybe this might honestly be one of my favorite things to have worked on because seeing it all come together was so satisfying. Because I had like a vision quite early on what I wanted it to be like right down to the cutscene of like it being kind of creepy and then Random Man appearing. I really am proud of how I managed to the vision. How I managed to achieve the vision. I really regret I'll never be able to experience this fight for the first time again. Well, there you go. That's what I want to hear. I'm glad that it left that much of an impact. I stare at how dare he steal our Pokemon though. He shall pay. I always make a joke about a mirror trainer in 1.3 is here in spirit. I see, right. I guess that's true. It kind of is. Because in 1.3, the final champion, so that was a special, this was based off a quest in 1.3, just called Glitch Style. And I was the final quest, the final champion. And the champion before was a mirror match against you, for those who don't know. So they copied your entire team, but they changed the moves, I remember. But you still kept your team, whereas this is like completely opposite. You have a completely random team, but you know exactly what Random Man has. Damn, hit me with a super effective attack. Older Steven with a shiny Mega Metagross is like leveled. No. Nothing too crazy. I mean, Steven is in this. If you go in if you fight the Emerald, the Hoenn trainers. Alright, let me speed up for a bit whilst we burst through. And he's not through yet, guys. He's got a Wobbuffet. So insane. I'm going to swap out because this Wobbuffet's too scary for me. I love this custom Wobbuffet as well. This is another sprite I made. It's a unique Wobbuffet. He's tired of being the punching bag. He's not being the punching bag anymore. This Wobbuffet stats are like super min-maxed. I was super proud of that sprite too. Because again, I'm not much of an artist, so I'm really happy with how that sprite turned out. So I will say, originally, before Uniques became a thing, and before when I was like in like an ideal land when I could just keep developing and I didn't have to worry about eventually releasing. Ben Risen did. Ben Risen gifted a ton of subs earlier. Making such developing ROMhack art. Damn. Yeah, I mean, artists are good at it. I'm just not an artist, so I might actually get dicked by this guy. Honestly. You're just going to protect here, so I may as well protect as well. Oh, no, you didn't. Oh, my goodness. The funny thing is, this Wobbuffet has like no stats on it too, because I didn't want you to lose your run, because this is technically the 7th Pokemon. I didn't want you to lose your run to a 7th Mon, because I thought that would be kind of a bit silly. Just a Wicked Blue, right? There you go. Wasn't even in question. Yeah, the final quest. So what I was going to say, when I was still costing everything up and I was just developing away, I didn't worry about releasing the update at any point in time. I was debating adding regional variants. So adding, because everyone loves regional variants, right? Instead of unique Pokemon, again, before I kind of downgraded to unique Pokemon, I was going to make my own regional variants, the rogue regional variants that were locked away to post-game. And this Wobbuffet was going to be a regional variant, and that's how I originally designed him. Then I realised the amount of art and sprites I'd have to make, along with overworld sprites and all that other stuff. Even if I commissioned other people, it would be insane, and I'd have to rebalance everything, make the moves, and it was too much. So I ended up pivoting towards the unique Pokemon, and I think that worked really well. The unique Pokemon, I think, are better because any Pokemon can be unique. Which is cool, because you can end up with really bizarre combinations. Yeah, that was the final quest, which I think is a really poetic place to think about ending the stream, honestly. Has anyone got any final comments or final questions they want before we wrap up the stream? I'll give you until the credits finish rolling, sorry. GG indeed. Good job with the game and the Q&A. Well, thank you. I'm glad the Q&A went well. I was worried I was going to get tripped over my words. I did at times, but I think it went okay. Thank you for playing the most amazing ROM hack I've ever played. Well, thank you for playing my ROM hack. Thank you, Nacho. Love you very much. You're awesome, smart, cool, mega talented. Thank you for all of this. Wish you the best very much. Thank you. Top tier wrong hat, very cool to your stream. Single name page still funny. Yeah, Nacho's got that single name page, dude. Good question, Abby. What made you develop and make the most amazing Pokemon ROM hack? I technically answered this earlier, but to give you the shortened version of it, basically, I was bored one day. I'm in Canada, USA, so if you need any help with the States, let me know. Lol. I was bored one day and basically kept ranting to Kate about how I really wanted there to be a Pokemon experience that cut out the fluff, that I could just focus on having fun battles and team building and so on. And I eventually realized that I was describing a roguelike, and I started coming up with cool ideas for roguelikes, like a roguelike Pokemon game. And then she was like, why don't you just make it? And I was like, oh yeah, I guess I can just make it. And then I started working on Emerald Rogue. Peak Rogue. Thank you very much. And thanks again for the gifties, Ben Risen. That was incredibly generous. The end. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you all appreciated this developer deep dive. As I said at the beginning, this is sadly probably the last time I look at Emerald Rogue. This was a nice little farewell for me and also for the community, so I could answer some of your questions and just talk about a project that I fell in love with. And honestly, I did not anticipate ever getting anywhere even close to this to notoriety. I released Emerald Rogue 1.0 and I was like maybe 100 downloads, and I get a couple of people that are interested in it, and it just blew up. It blew up way more than I ever anticipated it happening. And looking at 2.0, although there's some rough edges and there's a couple bugs here and there, I'm so proud of what I was able to make, and I'm so happy that everyone really liked it. So thank you very much for all the all the love. How many downloads did you get? It's difficult to count the downloads, but last time I checked it was over 500,000. But again, it's difficult to count them because some of them might be duplicate. Crazy how since I've discovered so this game, my average monthly time in Slay the Spire has dropped 95%. Damn. Emerald Rogue, best game for real. The end now, no longer the end. That is correct, because this is the end. After you beat the final run, it changes from a question mark because you beat it. But yeah, again, thank you very much. I will end there. If you enjoyed the stream and you want to see more of me, I will be back on Sunday. I am doing a very casual stream on Sunday at the moment where I'm working on making a living dex from scratch across all the Pokemon games. So, Grease has a question. I'm wrapping up, Grease. You got to get your question out fast. Just join back because you didn't want spoilers. Okay. I'll let you get your question in. This is the last question. Game's still rigged. Spell you later, Gramps. What are your plans for other projects in the future? So my current plan is I kind of want to take it chill. I have some ideas for projects I want to work on, but I don't know how far those projects are going to go. If they're going to end up being anything I release. And whether I'll do ROM hacking or whether I just go into doing some other small indie dev stuff. We'll see. Time will tell. I will update everyone whenever I have anything to update on. If you do want those updates, feel free to follow my Blue Sky. I'll make sure to update. I've only just got back. Don't give her ideas. It's true. I've been Emerald Rogue pilled for too long. Yeah, make sure to follow my Blue Sky. Follow me on Blue Sky. That will be where I'll be posting any dev updates I got in future. Anyhow, thank you all for watching. I hope to see many of you here on Sunday, and if not, I hope you have a lovely rest of the day, and yeah, thank you for supporting Emerald Rogue. Bye!